Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to match day 5 of the eFootball.Pro League. It is, of course, a hugely important match day in the scheme of the league so far, where everything pretty much will be decided. My name is Adam Butcher. I will be your host and main commentator for today's extravaganza. But joining me in the studio is the wonderful Mr. Diego Lorin, who usually is our data analyst and reporter, and he will be doing that job, but he's got another job as well. Mr. Co-commentator today, excited to be here?
Oh, very much so. I was telling you earlier, look at this. Once again,
there's a lot at stake today, isn't there?
So much at stake, so much to play for, everything to play for that to go straight to the finals. So I'm very excited to see the outcomes.
Of course, because we have two teams that have qualified already, and we need to find out who that third team is that's going to go through in the automatic qualification stages. Should we take a look, Diego, at what happened last match day 4, to see, you know, how it all came about?
A match day full of drama, Adam. Absolutely. The first match, what kicked off the day was Monaco against Celtic. It started off oh so well for Celtic, taking that initial win. Then Monaco did manage to draw the second match, but it didn't matter. The 3 points going to Celtic, a fantastic game, full of frustration as well, and chances for Monaco, which usually we see them convert on a day. But on that day, it wasn't meant to be. The second match was Boa Vista against Schalke. Boa Vista taking those crucial 3 points that basically blew the competition wide open. So good day for those guys. And finally, Nantes against Barça, which, I mean, despite the fact that Nantes did go up in both matches, it was a pretty comfortable win at the end of the day for Barça.
Yeah, it was a thoroughly successful match day 4 for Boa Vista, wasn't it? Because at the start of the tournament, you know, it was a fairly shaky start, a rocky road, but they've kind of got better and better as it's gone along, haven't they? They
did. They finally got those 3 points that they were looking for so long. As we now see the league table, we see that Barça and Celtic have already qualified for the final stage, and it all comes down to the final 4. We see Monaco for now in third, closely followed by Boa Vista, Schalke, and finally Nantes, who are still in with the chance to qualify today for the final round.
And that's the thing, they can all still qualify today, and if they don't qualify today, if they finish in the bottom 3, they can still qualify through the last chance saloon, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. The last chance group will be a little mini tournament where the 3 teams will basically duke it out between the 3 of them to see which 4th team will join the first 3 for the final match day.
Yeah, so we should get some graphics of how things are going to sort of progress today. We have, of course, Celtic versus Schalke 04 in the first game, Nantes versus Boa Vista FC in the second game, and FC Barcelona versus As Monaco in that all-important crucial game.
The big one.
Because really, all of those games will become irrelevant if As Monaco win.
That's it. If Monaco wins, then all the hard work done by the previous teams will not matter, because as we see here, if Schalke wants to go through directly, they need to win against Celtic, and both Boa Vista and Monaco lose. In the case of Nantes, it is the most complicated scenario.
I'd love to see it go down to see you try and work out how they've qualified.
Let's try to figure it out there. They basically need to win against Monaco, and of course Schalke either draw or lose, and the same goes for Monaco, and it then comes down to either goal difference or a tiebreaker between the two. And finally, Boa Vista, they need to win against Nantes and have Monaco lose. And finally, Monaco, well, they need to win, then they will go through automatically. And if they don't, then there's a whole list of scenarios there that will still allow them to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a whirlwind of a day ahead of us. Of course, the first game is Celtic versus Schalke 04, I believe. And of course, that includes one of the MVPs from match day 4, Mr. Eldridge O'Neill.
Eldridge O'Neill did so well in his matchup against Monaco. I mean, just a fantastic defensive display from the Dutchman. I would like to add, though, that he actually was very much so deserved the winner of the MVP. However, I kind of felt that the boys from Celtic were playing with fire, because Monaco was uncharacteristically missing a lot of chances. So despite the fact that defensively they were so solid, obviously the strategy that they implemented on the day completely stifled the Monaco guys, and we saw the frustration in particular from Uzmakabel on the day, screaming at the screen. But still, I felt like those guys were playing with fire a little bit.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, what we are going to do now is go and check out some of Eldridge O'Neill's best bits from match day 4. And it comes flying back off the woodwork, so to speak. But they can't build on that chance, and it cleared downfield again through Celtic.
Mayo has it for Celtic, who are somewhat fortunate to still be level at 0-0. And at the moment, they look a bit overrun when Monaco are coming forwards. Here is Eduardo, 2 in the centre to aim for. And all of a sudden, Monaco but a bit of a scare.
Yeah, you were talking about sticking to their principles in playing out from the back. That has been their philosophy, these two, Eldridge and Jos, over the years in Pez, as the ball gets played back to Henderson. It seems to have worked, but they've got to be careful because AS Monaco can just turn it on in the blink of an eye. It's a chance to play through to Carlos, and it's a right foot shot saved by Craig Gordon.
With time ticking down, a goal now could be absolutely crucial. And Griffith's delivery, Subasic came, didn't get there, chance and in! And Celtic, having absorbed so much pressure, have the opening goal.
It was a big chance that, he just wasn't able to take it under his spell. There's 7 minutes remaining here as the ball gets played back to Craig Gordon. Again, still trying to maintain this philosophy of total football as the ball gets played. Oh, it's a wonderful slide rule pass across the face, and it's a chance here at the back post for Allen. Constantly raining at this moment in time in sunny Spain because they just can't buy a goal, and they've certainly created a few chances of note.
Bitten works it on to Tierney. And now Bayo, Griffiths up there, Forrest, and a chance! Oh, what a chance it was as well now for Celtic. Very open game after what started off as quite cagey in game one. Forrest to Gamboa as we head towards the final stages of the first half. But still, Monaco can't find a way through this Celtic backline. Just the one goal in almost 1.5 games between the pair. Johnston for Henderson, Griffiths, Bayo, they've worked that well. Griffiths, great goal! That is superb! Great start from Griffiths. Looking prowess that they possess. Yes, they've come close on a couple of occasions. They've hit the frame of the goal twice, and the goalkeepers had to make some good saves, but Forrest in around the back here. Celtic looking for the second goal that would give them a real cushion, and they very nearly find it. Subasic.
Emotional boys, huh?
Yeah, that was wonderful, wonderful to watch there, Mr. Eldridge O'Neill, a worthy MVP from Matchday 4. Of course, that game, Celtic versus Schalke 04, is just seconds away. Final, last predictions for this first game, because, of course, potentially this is more important for Schalke, because they have to win.
They have to
and
win.
they have to still rely on other results. But Celtic want to win as well, because they want to potentially avoid a harder draw in the next one.
Do they, though? Do they, though? I'll just put this out there. Who
Surely
would Barca and Celtic rather see go through directly, Schalke or Monaco? I'm just putting it out there.
Well, get possible gamesmanship from Diego, he believes. Yeah, but we are, as I said, seconds away from kickoff there. So let's go over to the stage and see what's going on between Celtic and Schalke 04.
Welcome guys, shake your hands. So let's take a seat.
Yep, so there you have it, Celtic versus Schalke 04 on the stage, ready to rock and roll. Just a few last-minute tactical tweaks, etc., to make sure they're ready. Diego, we talked about potential favourites. Celtic have to go down there as the favourites, don't they? But Schalke, they're still a fantastic team, and they have had a bit of a team shake-up as well, haven't they?
They did. You mentioned it right there. El Matador, their top scorer, was not able to come out for this match day, but Goal, of course, an experienced player himself.
And played with El Matador in the first couple of games.
Played with El Matador in the first couple of match days, which they fared very well. They started off the competition so well, and they were really very... I mean, talking about El Matador, he was in particular very frustrated last match day to not have taken those 3 points. Maybe more than not have taken those 3 points. I think the manner in which they lost certainly affected him very much so. But we have Middleman and Goal, two experienced guys that you know, are very proud to carry that Schalke badge, and I'm sure they'll do it justice. You talk about Celtic being the favorites. Of course, they are already qualified for the final, so I'm expecting these Schalke boys to certainly come out with urgency and hunger today.
Yeah, and I was lucky enough to actually speak to Jos before today's proceedings, and very lucky me, and he was saying how... I asked him the question, because you've already qualified, does that make it a more difficult game to get sort of encouraged and up for? And he said, the shackles are off, we'll feel more relaxed, and therefore we'll probably play better. So if that is the case, then expect some wonderful PES play from those two.
Yeah, we will soon find out. What really, looking back at match day 4, what stuck out to me was how early on in the initial match, Celtic decided to change the formation, push their midfield up forward, and really basically take the game at hand rather than being more speculative. And that threw the guys from Monaco off instantly. And it'll be very interesting to see what their initial setup will be today, and if they will change the formation quickly based on what Schalke comes out with. Because, like I said, I think Schalke will come out guns blazing, show no fear, and really try to look for those 3 crucial points in their case.
Absolutely, and of course the two gentlemen from Schalke 04 are quite a difference in age. We have you know, a 23-year-old in Merriman, and of course Mateus was born in 1983, so there is more than 10 years, if my maths serves me correctly, between the two of them. Can they fuse that though and put that to their advantage in terms of experience and youthful exuberation as we get things underway? Kicking from left to right, of course, Celtic in the green and white hoops, and Schalke 04 in the blue and white. Are you expecting a fast start, Diego?
No, I don't think. I think if you're Celtic right now, you're happy with the way things are. You're not urgent. There's no urgency. You're not in a situation where you need to press high and look for that goal initially. So I'm expecting them to try to dominate the ball, impose their authority, and try to, basically just protect that ball as much as they can. 5
minutes gone. First set piece of the day, headed in towards the near post. Cleared away, but only as far as Konoplyanka on this left-hand side. Tries to cross it in and then hacked away there by Celtic. And it's been a positive start from the German contingent is the word I was looking for there, as the ball's out of play for a throw on the near touchline, and a chance to really crank up the gears early doors. But as you said, you're expecting a slow start, and they are taking their time here with a few changes early on, Diego.
These things always throw me off. It's very interesting to see how quickly these guys will already start tampering with strategics, and it's always interesting to have a look at the back end and see what these guys are up to.
7 minutes gone here, and it's out towards the right-hand side, now in towards Mbolo, now back to Konoplyanka. Chance here to play it into the danger area. In the end, Hendry's made a real hash of that clearance, but finally Celtic managed to clear, and a chance for a counter-attack out towards Griffiths on this right-hand side. Now Forrest joins the attack. Numbers forward here for Celtic, but they've allowed Schalke to get numbers back behind the ball. And the chance looks to have gone away, but it's back on this right-hand side. Gamboa plays it in, and just when you thought the chance had gone, they managed to fashion a lovely header at the near post, and it's a wonderful save. And Henderson plays it into Griffiths. Now Eduardo, another stunning bit of defending, and really Celtic went flying up through the gears there, Diego.
They did. They're showing the complete opposite of what I'm saying, looking for that goal. Lovely couple of little back heels there, but what a chance from Bayo.
A really fast start here from Celtic after 5 minutes with not a lot of chances, and then suddenly they've sprung into life as it's cleared away only as far as Forrest. And now Eduard up towards the edge of the penalty area. Now Bayo plays it in towards Henderson, again cleared away, but only as far as Henderson again. They just can't get out here, Schalke, and they finally managed to do so, but it's worrying signs here as Celtic ramp up the pressure.
They are. But we see Schalke not showing any fear, playing long balls more than really kind of playing out the back. They're looking for their strikers quite early on, as we now see Celtic playing it out wide, looking for the cross, but Bruma with some good bit of defending there.
So, of course, the Celtic contingent, both residing in the Netherlands, so they have a history together. Not necessarily playing together, but certainly in and around the same area, and they've come up through the ranks and the qualifications for the 1v1s as well during the PES League, etc. They've come across each other quite a few times. Now they join forces here for Celtic. And they are quite an outfit when they get into gear, as it's just cleared away.
Well, we're seeing some of that stealth defending once more from these Dutch bunch. Very cool under pressure. So far, Schalke not able to pull the trigger and test the Celtic goalkeeper.
Yeah, no inroads here for Schalke, but Celtic have had a couple of chances themselves, and they potentially might have another one here as Tierney goes down the left-hand side, chance to cross it in, finds Bayo, just cleared away again. Just couldn't quite pull the trigger there, but it's you feel like something's brewing here, Diego.
Yeah, they're cooking something up, and we see that Schalke are rather playing it safe than being sorry. Just happy to kick that ball, hoof the ball up the field and look for the strikers. As we see now, Mbolo chasing down the ball, trying to recuperate possession as quickly as possible, because right now you have to say Celtic are looking pretty comfortable and dominating possession.
Absolutely. Down this right-hand side now, Gamboa plays it in towards the near post, headed away again. Bayo just couldn't quite get on it, but now he can. Skips inside onto his right foot, plays it in. Eduardo! And there's another stunning save there from the goalkeeper. He's been really... he's been in the action from the minute go, hasn't he?
Yep. He's been the man of the match so far. If you're talking about Schalke, keeping out two clear occasions on goal, two shots on goal, which he did ever so well to keep out. And like I said, I mean, you were talking about it before. The fact that they have already qualified, it might mean that they are less pressured and therefore playing more relaxed. I think right now we're seeing exactly that.
Absolutely, and of course they are no stranger to the big stage, these two from Celtic. Eldridge, of course, has a long track record in the PES League and reached the latter stages in 2017 in the PES League finals, and of course Indominator, or Jos as we knew him when he was on the panel here as our PES expert, also was PES Dutch champion in 2017 as well, so it was a strong year for them.
Absolutely. A lot of pedigree. I mean, that's never been put into question. The amount of pedigree and skill that there is amongst these players in this competition, just every team is loaded. And
of course, all the teams will be sort of watching on, but everyone's also thinking about that final game, aren't they, Diego? Because that's the most crucial one for all concerned.
Well, that has to be in the back of their heads, surely, but
is it difficult to kind of put that to one side and concentrate on your own game?
I don't think so, Adam. I think if you're either Schalke or any of these teams that are depending on the score of Monaco, what you want to do initially is get your business done first. As we see Griffith now pulling the trigger, not able to test the goalkeeper on this occasion. But yeah, basically these teams will have to think that, you know, they need to take care of business initially and then hope and wait and keep their fingers crossed.
Yeah, and Mbolo just plays it out towards his left-hand side. Now finds right chance to shoot. He instead goes for the cross and punched away by the goalkeeper, and Henderson completes the clearance, and it's finished here at the end of a stalemated first half.
But it went flying by.
0-0.
0-0. We see Celtic surely enjoying the possession there, 63%.
I mean, we expected that, and if you actually look, we had some fairly deep formations there from Schalke in that first half. Do you think that kind of, you know, added to that sense of the stalemate that we had? Do you think they were happy to sit back?
I don't know. I mean, you'd have to. I'll ask them that question in the mix zone. I think for my comfort, I'll be looking to sit a little bit less back, play a little bit less speculative football, and want to take the initiative a little bit more. But what do I know, Adam? I mean,
what do you know, Diego?
These guys are the pros.
So, of course, that is just a quick reminder that after this game, we will be going to the mix zone where Diego will join first the losers, or draw. It might be a draw.
Yeah.
So the losers and the winners, of course, after the game, to find out how they felt the game went itself, or the two games, because, of course, we forgot to say at the start, it is a best of two. They all, in this eFootball.Pro League, will be best of two games. So if one team wins one and then the other team wins the second game, it finishes as a draw, of course. Two draws will be a draw, 1 point, and, of course, two wins for one team will be the 3 points that are needed to potentially get that all-important qualification stage place.
That is it, Adam. I think right now, start of the second half, we're seeing Schalke enjoy a little bit of passing the ball around, one-touch football. They had a throw-in, which they tried to go long. Although, having said that, Celtic now on the counter, looking for that dagger pass, and it's just shot in a goal!
And it's the first goal of the day, and it's come for Celtic FC, and Eldridge O'Neill shushes the Schalke contingent there. It was a stunning finish on his left foot high into the top right-hand corner. But as we said, Diego, it was coming.
It was coming. It was coming. I would like to know what was said behind the scenes there for E.C. O'Neill to stand out there and shush the Schalke boys. Beautiful little play there. Beautiful dagger pass right down the middle, finished off by Griffith in the top corner.
Yeah, it was a lovely first touch to move it away from the defender, and an arrow into that top right-hand corner. And often you find in these matches they can have a first half where they've had bucket loads of chances, they can't take them, and then suddenly maybe 2 minutes into the second half, you know, all hell breaks loose, and they finally get the goal.
As we see here, a replay of the reaction. Interesting stuff there.
But that is, of course, the benefit of co-op here in PES, because you do start to get that real emotion and that team spirit. And of course, if there has been a few words potentially exchanged pre-kickoff, you never know, it can come back up and bubble up in the game.
Absolutely.
Edouard now tries to find the goal scorer Griffiths, but cleared away up towards Canoply Anchor on this left-hand side. He's got right for support, and he's always been scythed down there. It was a really naughty challenge. The referee plays a good advantage, though, and it might come into fruition as it's played through, and it's blocked again. And it's a good response, Diego, from Schalke.
It's a positive response. That's what you want to see from Schalke right now, to not basically give up and go for that goal, because now more than ever they will need it. But excellent bit of defending, as always, from the Dutch boys.
Bayo on the counter-attack out towards Forest. It looked like a pretty weak, almost hospital pass there, but he managed to get on the end of it as Edouard gets in again down this left-hand side, tries to find once again that goal scorer. He just can't quite get that touch to take it away from the defender like he did for the goal. And on your screen here we have, of course, the league table as things stand. Celtic will be finishing matchday 5 with 4 wins from 5 with 12 points. And then, of course, the other games still to come. So Barcelona could level that tie, or level that score, shall I say, as it's played in. It's Griffiths again, and he's having a game of his life there. And it just flashes wide of the target. They've got to stop him, haven't they?
Yeah, they do have to stop it. What a chance, though, from Griffiths. Should have done better, in my opinion. At least try to test the goalkeeper from that distance.
Yeah, he knew that. E.C. O'Neill, it was a poor finish in the end. And just to go back to what we were saying, you, of course, had the league table on the left. You also had the Golden Boot table on the right, or as
also
Diego would say,
as
I've actually forgotten. Would you like to remind me? Because you said it earlier.
My good man, the Pichichi race.
The Pichichi, that's it. So, of course, they are going to be ticking over as the match day goes down as well. And I believe Pau was leading the race for Barcelona.
So far, Pau is leading the race. As we just saw, Schalke change up formation now, 3 men on top. As we just touched upon earlier, Schalke now, of course, in desperate need, in dire need for a goal, because the way things stand is just not good enough for them.
No, it's not indeed. And time very quickly running out in this opening fixture. And of course, you can see that up at the top left-hand side. You've got game 1. So during match day 5, you'll know it will either say game 1, just putting my teeth back in, I've done it again. It'll either say game 1 or game 2. And of course, if you're on to game 2, you know it's even more crucial, and there has been a game already played, and we will try and keep you updated in the game 2 as to what happened in game 1. We are in game 1. The teeth are firmly back in. Diego, how do you see this game finishing?
Well, I'm expecting Schalke to go out, to go for it, basically. They've now put the 3 men on top, clearly with the intent to look for the goal. I'm expecting them to probably also press them higher up the pitch, try to recuperate possession as quickly as possible, as Griffiths is now in for the shot at goal, and once again he gets it done. Adam, it's 2-0 for Celtic.
Celtic FC are flying into the next round. They have already qualified. Well, they're not flying through to the next round. They're certainly flying through game 1. But potentially with this sort of form, they're surely looking favourites to go through top, really, of this league table. It's another wonderful, wonderful bit of football there. And Griffiths, we said he was having the game of his life. It's another truly inspiring finish there from the edge of the area into that top left-hand corner.
Absolutely. Left unmarked, though.
So
You got
much
to
space,
question.
so much space, Diego. How has he allowed that much space?
Well, I'll be sure to ask him that, because you have to question the defending there from the guys from Schalke. Usually a very solid bunch in defense, but you know, maybe the fact that they know that they're chasing the game, so they're being left unmarked, or left open in the back, I should say, exposed in this occasion. And Griffith's doing much better than he did just before, and slotting that goal into the back of the net.
And potentially we might be taking something away from Celtic themselves, because we might be blaming the defending, but you've got to praise the attacking abilities as well, because they really twisted and turned and moved the ball around brilliantly there to sort of unnestle the defenders there from Schalke 04 as the ball gets played out towards Gambo on the right-hand side now. Griffiths picks it up and chance to run at that back line again. Of course, he is on a hat-trick. 2 stunning goals. If he could make it 3, it would be... Oh, but he's in here.
No.
It's Bayo.
Surely.
The offside flag is raised, and the blushes are saved there as a defensive mishap again there for Schalke 04, and it's not been a pretty 80 minutes or so for them so far.
Oh, that was a close call. That was a very close call, but the right one. As at this moment in time, you'd have to fancy the chances for Celtic to at least take this match, as we are now in the 84th minute. Of course, we still have that also important second match to play. So Schalke will do good to not feel completely morally defeated and deflated. They still have at least a point to snatch out of this. So, as we now see a little bit of showboating.
I mean, the worrying thing from a Schalke point of view is, of course, not necessarily the result of this game or the scoreline, but the manner of the performance compared to, you know, the Celtic performance, which has just blown them out of the water, hasn't it, really?
Yeah. As we now see Celtic just happy to run down the clock, of course. They've done their bit of business, taken this first match, as Gordon's coming out to play as well. 1
minute remaining here. Celtic 2, Schalke 04 0. There will only be 1 minute of added on time from the fourth official. It's a really late challenge, and one that comes purely out of desperation and frustration here.
That's it.
From a Schalke point of view, and the yellow card has come out for the Schalke player, and Johnson, I believe, is having treatment as well. That was a really nasty challenge, and hopefully he recovers from that. It has finished here in this first match of the 2 games, and it's a really, really professional performance from Celtic, and Schalke look dejected here after match 1, and they need to really rouse themselves here, Diego, to get away and get back into this tie, don't they?
Dejected is the word. That was the word I was looking for before. Look at them.
Should have asked me. I would have given it to you.
I thought you were going to give me with a wonder class goal. But look at the body language here, Adam, as we see that both the sets of players appear on the screen. Schalke, dejected, is it what you said?
It's dejected. It's one of... I mean, there are many words to sort of use for how their body language is, but they just look... like they've defeated, and they've still got a game to play. They've really got to change this mindset.
They have to change the mindset.
Maybe it's a case of they're up against a team and they just think they're just currently right now too good for us.
Yeah. Well, they certainly are. And in the case of Celtic, they showed their dominance. It was a one-sided affair in that initial match to start off match day 5. Celtic winning 2-0 with an excellent, outstanding performance from their striker, Griffiths.
They need to stop him in that second game, certainly, because he was getting far too much room and scoring some brilliant goals.
No doubt about it.
Process. So,
no doubt about it.
Just seconds away. Your prediction for this second game, then, in this all-important match 1 of match day 5?
Prediction it is, I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw.
A 2-2 draw. So Schalke need to find something that they weren't able to muster in that opening game to claim a draw, really, and then it will leave things still wide open in this tournament so far, as it is Schalke who start quickly, and it's into Mbolo, and it's a perfect start for the Germans. Exactly what they needed, and we said, how are they going to change things? Well, they've done something.
That's what you want to see. That's the way you want to approach this match, coming out hungry, determined to at least take a point out of this matchup.
And
smiles all around as well, and rightfully so, because what a beautiful pass that we see there over the final defensive line to find the lone striker Mbolo there to slot it to the back of the net. Great bit of play by the guys from Germany.
Do you think that was down to, poor defending? Do you think it was down to just catching them cold straight from the start? How's that goal come about for you, Diego?
Adam, you've been in this far longer than me. How many times have you seen this little bit of play?
The chip over the top. I mean, it has been very, very successful for many a team so far, certainly this year. And, well, they don't need to panic, Celtic. They know they've got a long game ahead of them, but it's just the start that we wanted, really, as a neutral for this game, because it gives Schalke something to bite on now. And
absolutely,
the question is now, do they stick or twist? Because it's still very early, and certainly if they concede straight from the kickoff, it's out towards Henderson. Oh, he's got through two challenges far too easily, and it's another stunning save. I think the offside flag possibly got raised. No, he's got a free kick right on the edge of the area in a really, really dangerous position.
What are we going to see? We're going to see a direct free kick, or?
Well, it's Griffiths again. I mean, you wouldn't bet him against him putting that top corner.
Not in this form.
And that's exactly what he's gone for. And it's straight down the throat of the goalkeeper, but there's a fair bit of venom on it.
Schalke wasting no time, looking for right there on the left flank. A lot of long balls being played by the guys from Schalke. Not a team that is really known to play the ball from the back.
Really the opposite of Celtic, who love to keep the ball on the deck and play that sort of token, total football.
Exactly, Adam.
10 minutes gone here. Celtic 0, Schalke 0-4-1. A goal that came just inside the 3rd minute here to breathe fresh life into this fixture, as Wright picks it up on the left-hand side. He's got support infield, but it's a really sloppy pass, and it's picked off far too easily. Oh, but that's a mistake as well. And Bergstaller's in here.
Surely.
A chance for 2.
Oh, no.
What a waste, Diego.
Oh, no. Going for that extra pass.
Sometimes it comes off, but on this occasion, he really, really should have gone for goal himself, you feel.
You felt that he was just in the right position to do so. Just him and with the goalkeeper to beat. Opted for the extra pass, but...
That noise says it all, Diego. That's exactly how everyone was feeling onlooking, because they thought that all Bergstaller needed to do was pull the trigger, and it was 2-0 and potentially, well, game over in this second time, and a point for Schalke, which could be very, very crucial
at this point
in the scheme of things.
Very much so, very much so.
Because as things stand, of course, if Celtic were to grab a goal, this game would finish as a draw, but overall, Schalke would crash out with a defeat, because obviously they lost that first game. Of course, if Schalke do not win this game now, this game 2, then they will be going into that bottom 3, and they won't be able to qualify today. Oh, but it's a mistake again, and Griffiths is in. What a save again.
What a save. What a save. Keeper doing oh so well to react there. Great little bit of goalkeeping, as we've seen so many times, to be honest, already.
Clubs all around the world looking at this goalkeeper right now, because he is producing some incredible saves.
Absolutely. Schalke know those guys, goal and middleman, just how important that save is. Oh, and again
onto the crossbar. How on earth has that stayed out? Forrest on the edge of the area finds Benkovic. Good challenge from McKennie, but still with Forrest. And now Benkovic again. Support from Henderson. This is really, really good pressure here from Celtic. They need to make it pay, though, and Griffiths' shot is deflected wide. How this game is still 1-0 to Schalke 04, I will never know. The goalkeeper and the crossbar, as Schalke are living a charmed life right now.
Wow, relentless bit of pressure, just wave after wave after wave of attack, as Griffiths now is in with a corner.
29% possession for Schalke, 71 for Celtic, but the crucial stat is that top left-hand corner, which still reads 1-0 to Schalke.
For now, Adam, for now, but something tells me that it won't be for much longer.
Well, we thought in that first game something was brewing, and of course it did. And you kind of get that feeling we're on a similar sort of train at the moment, as it's coming into the station potentially for Celtic.
Yep. But just looking at the statistics there, with a percentage of passes completed, just 62% for Schalke. Also the possession obviously very low, but they will want to change something up, I feel, because I don't know if they can keep it up for this much longer against the quality side that is Celtic.
Griffiths foul just on the halfway line, and he will leave it for Henderson. As you said, half an hour gone. Back to Hendry now out towards Tierney on this left-hand side, and it is pretty much all Celtic as you would expect, being behind, but it's been a resolute, well, goalkeeping performance so far from
Surely
Schalke.
that's in.
Surely it's in. He's got the goal, and finally the pressure has paid, and it's Celtic 1, Schalke 1, and deserved, Diego.
Deservedly so. I mean, you felt that it was coming, right? We were talking about it over and over again, that they were cooking something up. Something was brewing there. I mean, we talked about it just
used
before.
train into the station. I think that was the analogy I used.
Your analogies, Adam. They should go in the book. That's what they need to go. But yeah, things were looking good for Celtic. I was mentioning just before that I didn't see Schalke keeping up this style of play because Celtic was just dominating the match ever since they had conceded that goal, and that pressure has finally paid off. It's all square.
Absolutely.
1-0.
As things stand, of course, as we mentioned, Schalke 04 will be dropping into that last chance group. They will not be able to qualify for the top 3 today, unless they can grab another goal. Where do you see them getting this other goal from? Because they caught Celtic very cold at the start of this game. Since then, they've had possibly one more chance, but it was a bit of a half chance. Where are they going to get joy breaking this Celtic team down, Diego?
To be really honest, Adam, as we now see, right, whipping in a corner, across.
Oh! Well, that's where was what I was hoping you were going to say, is it if it had gone in, but of course it did hit the woodwork there, and it is a free kick, as you mentioned, and it's going to be Kopianka to take it from the left-hand side, and it's in towards it. Lovely cushion pass down and fired up and over the top, and this is the response that was needed, wasn't it?
That is the response, as Schalke now has a corner and again a chance to at least get a shot on goal. We talk about where will the chances come from. Well, certainly we're seeing that right now, but I also think they will have to hope, as Gordon now has got possession of the ball and plays it out quickly. I think they also need to hope for Celtic basically to be inefficient.
Switch off a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, you did say earlier in the match that they're playing quite route one, and to be fair, the two big chances they've had, one being the goal and the other one that forced the corner and the free kick as well afterwards, came, of course, from a cross. So maybe they do have to continue with this direct nature to unsettle the Celtic back line.
That's it, Adam. What is it? 2 against 3 now. Bayo against Forrest.
Bergstaller, is there one last chance before the half is out? We are deep into added on time. No, the referee brings the first half to an end. A thoroughly entertaining one, but importantly, we're level here in this match, and Schalke need a win.
They do need a win, and the way things stand right now, it's just not good enough for them. But however, again, just having a quick glance at those statistics, we see 8 shots, and I think it was 4 of those on target for Celtic, and just the 3 shots for Schalke. They will want to switch up something, and they need to expose themselves a little bit out in the back and risk a little bit more if they want to get something out of this. Yeah,
it was a lovely interchange of passing there between Imbolo and Bergstaller, but it came to nothing in the end. A wonderful little back flick, but now McKennie forward towards Imbolo, again intercepted by Bitton, who's had a very strong game so far today. And now a poor pass from his teammate forward towards Forrest, and picked up by Bruma on this right-hand side, and now played back in field to Bergstaller, challenged by Tierney. It's got a little bit scrappy in the last 10 minutes or so as Edouard picks it up and runs up over the halfway line. Support from Forrest in the centre, now back to Edouard.
Nobody picking him up. Oh, there it is.
Nobody picking him up, and there he is, as you said, and he came from absolutely nowhere to make that important interception. But again, Celtic get the ball back, and they're just starting to build again. This is not what Schalke need. They need to be down the other end as the ball gets played through and cleared away, and it's worrying times here, Diego, for Schalke.
It is. Those boys cannot be sitting comfortably in their seats, surely not. Although they do have the ball now, chance to hit Celtic on a counter, but a sloppy little bit of passing there.
Half an hour remaining.
For the Schalke guys.
Half an hour, and they need a goal, Diego, because otherwise they're crashing into that bottom 3. Another effort on goal, another stunning save from the Schalke number 1.
And a bit of shocking passing as well.
Surely not. Oh, that would have been horrible for all concerned after a wonderful performance from him to then go and make a dreadful error, but he managed to recover there, and now Schalke can counter. Bergstaller tries to find Mbolo, challenged though by Hendry, is on a caution, so can't afford to be rash at the back, and he's been harassed a few times by Mbolo, so he's got to be very careful not to give the ball away in dangerous positions as Bitten picks it up. And again, Celtic just trying to build out from the back. Two completely different styles here. The directness from Schalke versus the sort of flamboyant total football play out from the back from Celtic as it gets played through towards Bayo. Challenge again, and neither side have really been great in that final third. The final ball has been sloppy on most occasions as Mbolo goes down this right-hand side. He's got support from two in the centre, looking for right at the back post. Another sloppy pass in the final third.
Yeah, who was there? Who was there? It was just, was it right there with three Celtic players surrounding him. Right now, what's surprising me are two things, Adam. I'm very impressed with the transition of Celtic from offense to defense. They're able to still get off shots and test the Schalke goalkeeper.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you not still surprised at how deep Schalke are?
That was my other point that I was going to make, is still how deep. Now they've changed it, but still how deep Schalke was playing, despite the fact that they need goals. We now see the formation change. 3 up top, 4.
I mean, it'll go down as a masterclass if they manage to nick one late, and they've played that sort of defensive style and managed to keep Celtic at bay. Yeah, but certainly they need to change something, you feel. They do.
You say masterclass, I would call it Wunderclass.
Wunderclass, yeah, absolutely. For those of you that missed Matchday 4, sorry, that was one of the terms that got brought out on the live stream, and it's now been put into the Oxford Dictionary.
It's in there. It's in there.
So Celtic 1, Schalke 0-4-1, and we are in that very, very crucial last 20 minutes, because Celtic are already qualified, but Schalke must win and hope other results go their way pretty much in this remaining 20 minutes, because they lost that first game. They have to win this second game, and as things stand, a draw is not good enough, and they will be in the bottom 3 regardless of other results today. Tierney, and I suppose the other teams watching on are quite happy with proceedings so far as it gets played through to Bayo and cleared away by Stasic. And that was worrying again there for Schalke, but they've kind of got to do this now, haven't they? They've got to risk, because they've been too defensive.
Yeah, they do. They have to risk. As almost interception there by Wright. But I have to say as well, what's impressing me ever so much is just the quality of the passing we're seeing from Celtic. Just driving the Schalke players crazy. It's making me dizzy. It's just watching them. Fantastic bit of passing there from these Celtic boys.
Yeah, it's being played at a frenetic pace as it's played up towards Mbolo, and now Harrod plays it back to Wright on the left-hand side, and it's a real chance here with 10 minutes remaining. What a time this would be to grab a goal as Mbolo tries to get his head to it. Now Wright, Mbolo again, spins away. Oh, what a challenge, still ricocheting around the edge of the area, but finally goes out of play for a goal kick. And them sort of chances, you just need to fall a little bit of a different way, maybe a bit of good luck, and it's not been on their side so far.
Yeah. We saw Mbolo unmarked there. I think he took one more step forward too much. He could have maybe just stayed lingering around the penalty spot where he was being left unmarked.
Space on that far side if he can find him. It was out towards Burke, but it got cleared away just before it got to him as Griffiths went up for the challenge as well. And now on the counter-attack the other way. This game is really ending at some speed here as Golo has to play the ball through surely. Now he does. Mbolo into Wright. Orskov for the back post and headed away again. They just can't find that final ball. But Schalke are still well in this to grab an unlikely draw from the jaws of defeat. As Bayo goes down the left-hand side. 4 minutes remaining. They don't want to sucker punch on the counter-attack though as Johnson goes through, and Stasic comes across. Brilliant defending from that man there as McKennie now picks it up, and Schalke need 2 minutes of brilliance to grab a goal here, or a mistake from Celtic as Bayo plays the ball through back to Nastasic. Time running out here for the Germans as Tierney is scythed down there, the referee, and that's just, I mean, that's pretty much might as well be it there, Diego, as they can just hold the ball now.
Yeah, I mean, you're Celtic, you look at the hold the ball, that's exactly what we're seeing right now, as Bitten is probably looking in for Johnston with the cross. not able to connect on this occasion, but that is it, Adam.
Yeah, it's whacked away down the left-hand side, and it's another win for Celtic FC. Of course, the second match finished a 1-1 stalemate, but the first game went in the favour of Celtic FC, of course, so they will be taking all 3 points, and Schalke 04 will end this campaign with a defeat, and they will be going into the bottom 3 and potentially a place at a last chance saloon grab. But their game is over for today. So Celtic will finish on 12 points after 5 matches, so 4 wins and 1 defeat. And we're just waiting for clarification on the ramifications of that defeat for Schalke 04. But we do know, unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to them just for now, not forever, because they can still qualify through that last chance saloon, where the bottom 3 will all go head-to-head to see who joins the qualified top 3 in the final 4. And congratulations there to Eldridge and Josh for Celtic FC. A brilliant performance from them in that first game. A goal apiece as well. And MVP from matchday 4, of course, with 2 more goals today. 1 in the first game, 1 in the second. And as you can see, that is the table as we speak. Celtic FC played 5, won 4, lost 1, 19 goals scored, 11 conceded, with a goal difference of +8 and 12 points. Barcelona can, of course, join them on 12 points if they're able to beat AS Monaco in the final fixture of today. And AS Monaco are sitting in that 3rd position again before their match against Barcelona. And Boa Vista, Schalke and Nantes are in that bottom 3. As you're just seeing some highlights here from the first match, and that first goal really came at a time when not a lot was happening, and suddenly Celtic flew up through the gears, and the ball got played through to Griffith, who took one beautiful touch on that wizard left foot and then smashed it into the top right-hand corner, and it set Celtic on their way. Disappointment, of course, for Schalke, but Eldridge O'Neill with the shush finger, as he so often does. If he's riled by anything in and around the tournament area, he will let people know about it. And then the second goal was another wonder strike from Griffiths onto his left foot on the edge of the area and fired home. Too much space potentially given to him from the Schalke back line, but he made absolutely no mistake. And the goalkeeper, of course, was unable to keep it out. So a stunning performance really from Celtic in that first game. And it just gave them the sort of platform for that second game, for the draw. That's all they needed to make all 3 points their own. And as you can see on the in the mix zone, should I say, we have our wonderful Diego, who, like Superman, just sort of flew through. And he's over there now, and he's with the commiserations to Schalke 04. They are there, and let's get some words of wisdom from them.
Cheers, Adam. Yes, I'm joined here by the guys from Schalke, middleman and goal. Guys, you needed a win. You didn't get it. How do you feel now after, well, this loss?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Celtic was the better team. They had more opportunities. We had a plan. I think we didn't play that bad, but especially in the first game, we didn't shoot enough. Maybe we should try to shoot more often, but in the end, yeah, there were 2 mistakes, 2 goals, and the second game was a little bit better. We had the opportunity for the second goal. Maybe then we would win it. In the end, it was 1-1. I think it was okay, and now we're going to concentrate for the last chance group next month.
That's it. You still, of course, have the last chance group. Still chances to qualify for the final stage. Maybe some of the people watching were a little bit surprised with how far back you guys were sitting. Moving forward for that last chance group, will you take more initiative to look for the goal?
Yeah, the problem is that we know which team Celtic is, and we know which team Schalke is, and we don't have that much speed. We don't have that much players that are good in dribbling, something like this. So, yeah, we try to surprise them with 4 attacking players, yeah, I think we had some opportunities, but in the end, it was difficult to score goals. Yeah. We tried our best. It was not enough today, but we tried to do better next match day.
That's it. Well, it's not over yet, guys, of course. So congrats, to you guys. Commiserations, I should say, not congrats, but all the best of luck moving forward, as I'm now joined by the guys from Celtic. Once again, just lighting up with smiles. EC O'Neill and Dominator, our Jaws. Look at them. Guys, you got the win. You guys got the business done. You didn't need to win. You guys are already qualified, of course, for the finals, but you came out guns blazing nonetheless. How do you feel it went on the day?
Well, it went great. There was a lot of talks before, everyone's thinking, yeah, maybe Schalke will win or whatever, but we were like, no, we want to be first. We don't like to play against Monaco, so we hope we don't have to play them in the finals. But also before, it was like Schalke was saying, yeah, you only have 3 points. Atletico got 6, so I was like, all right, it's cool. So that's why I did this shush. Don't talk too much. So yeah.
I was gonna ask you about that, yeah.
Yeah, but the game went great. First game we played more offensively. Last time we played, we were defensively against Monaco. Now we played more offensively, showcasing our skills. As you can see, we can play both offensive and defensive. It doesn't matter. We adapt to our opponents and then do the job.
That's it. You guys, showed a great bit of defending last match day. You in particular, of course, the MVP. Great offensive play today. I heard you mention just now that you don't want to face Monaco. Does that mean that you guys are scared of the guys from Monaco?
No, it's not scared. It's more like the way they play, They are very strong and they create lots of chances. To be honest, you have to look at your chances. Who do you think you will be least best against, and who do you think you will be best against? So, to be honest, I think I don't want to face Monaco until the finals. And the other teams, yeah, I think we can take them.
All right. Confident as always, EC O'Neill and Jos. Love watching you guys play. Lovely, confident bunch. Congrats again on the win. And, well, you see here, Adam, these guys never lacking in confidence, win or lose. These boys are through to the final. So, Adam, back over to you.
Thanks, Diego. Yeah, lovely to hear the guys there. Firstly, starting with, of course, Schalke 04. They mentioned how they performed better in that second game, and they did, but they left a lot to be desired in that first game, and unfortunately that meant the tie was already gone away from them at that moment in time. Interesting listening to Celtic there for me, mentioning the AS Monaco and potentially not wanting to face them. They haven't qualified yet, and they may not if, of course, they lose to Barcelona later on today. And Boa Vista, for example, maybe grab a win, and even Nantes can still qualify, so the positions haven't been decided yet. But and you've got to play the best, surely. It's great to listen to how they perceive their rivals and their threats, I suppose. Of course, we do have some more games coming. As we mentioned, we have, of course, Nantes, Boa Vista, Barcelona, and of course AS Monaco as well still to come. But we have some wonderful tips and tricks coming from Alex Giardi from Nantes. So let's go and check that out right now.
Salut à toutes et à tous, c'est Alex Giardet. Donc aujourd'hui on se retrouve pour une vidéo, donc je vais vous donner 5 tips pour progresser sur PES. Donc le premier tips, c'est surtout de jouer beaucoup dans le menu entraînement. Donc dans le menu de PES, jouer beaucoup au menu entraînement et tester un peu tous les types de tirs qu'on peut faire, essayer de trouver des touches. Essayez un peu de tout faire et vous verrez que le jeu est plein de secrets. Le deuxième conseil que je peux vous donner, c'est de jouer beaucoup online et surtout contre des gros joueurs. Ça, c'est important. Jouer des joueurs comme Usma Kabil, Lotfi, Kams pour les gros joueurs français et des gros joueurs comme Etorito si vous avez de la chance de le jouer. Je pense que ça vous fera beaucoup progresser. Le troisième conseil, c'est d'enregistrer ces matchs et de les regarder et de voir comment les gros joueurs y jouent en fait, pour essayer de reproduire leurs gestes et de faire les mêmes en fait, de voir comment ils ont fait et sur quelles touches ils ont appuyé pour les faire. Le quatrième conseil que j'ai à vous donner, c'est de bien se concentrer avant les tournois, de bien manger, d'avoir une bonne diète. C'est important pour être fort dans la tête, parce que PES, c'est à 80% dans la tête. Le skill, ça passe après. Et Et le cinquième et dernier conseil que je peux vous dire aussi, c'est de jouer beaucoup contre l'IA. Parce qu'en fait, en jouant offline contre l'IA, on apprend beaucoup, on voit comment se place l'ordi. Bon, certes, ça agit pas comme un humain, mais ça permet de faire des rematchs et des rematchs. Et ce qui est important dans PES, c'est de gérer les momentum et le script. Et du coup, contre l'IA, vous allez voir quel type de passe qui marche quand le handicap est contre vous ou est avec vous, etc. Et du coup, ça peut beaucoup vous aider, je pense, à gagner vos matchs. Donc voilà, j'espère que ces 5 conseils vous permettront d'être aussi fort que moi sur PES. Donc en tout cas, j'espère que ça va vous servir et à bientôt, on se retrouve à bientôt.
Yeah, lovely to hear the words from Alex Giardi there from Nantes FC. And of course, they were tips and tricks on how to become a better PES player. So potentially, one day you might become an MVP. And of course, we will be discussing the MVP on our analysis program later on with our PES expert, Wes. And you will be able to help make that final decision over on our Twitter account as well. Of course, the next game, Diego, Nantes versus Boa Vista, a hugely important tie again.
Massive.
Because Boa Vista, if they win, they just need Monaco not to win and then they're through.
Then they're through, and they're going to be looking for that one too after their fantastic performance from last match day, previous match day. We talked about it all season long, just how well these boys have been playing. They've been pretty unlucky as well not to have gotten more points than they have so far. So they did ever so well to beat the Schalke boys last time in dramatic fashion. Theo Mead with the late winner again, 2 match days in a row. So look out for those guys today. And they'll be coming out guns blazing, trying to qualify directly for the final phase.
They will indeed, and I believe, my little birdie tells me correctly, then we have them on the stage, ready to rock and roll. FC Nantes versus Boa Vista FC. Take it away.
Welcome guys, shake your hands. Let's take a seat, please.
Right, so on the stage, as you can see, and as we've already introduced, Nantes versus Boa Vista, a hugely important tie, and both teams, Diego, can still technically qualify. We've already mentioned how Boa Vista can qualify, which is fairly nice and easy. Now I'm going to throw you in at the deep end. Can you explain to the wonderful people back home how Nantes can qualify today?
No problem whatsoever, Adam. No problem whatsoever. Basically, if Nantes want to qualify, what they need to have happen is the following. They, of course, will need to win their match right now against Boa Vista, and they need Schalke not to win theirs, which...
That's one done.
That has happened. That has happened. So that's 1 point in their favor. But what they also need to have happen is Monaco to lose their match against Barça, and then it comes down to the goal difference. The goal, if their goal difference is better for Nantes than for Monaco, they will go through, and the same will happen if the goal difference is the same. Well, if it is the same, it will come down to basically a tiebreaker between Monaco and Nantes, and they will have to win that, of course.
Wow. I feel like I've just done a dissertation.
Let's have what I think the viewers have it now up on their screen. It'll probably be a lot easier if they read it out for themselves than that poor explanation.
But the most important thing, of course, is that a Boa Vista win means that they've given themselves every chance of qualifying as long as Monaco don't win. And they're playing against Barcelona, who have already qualified but are a great outfit.
They are.
Nantes have a slightly more difficult way through, but again, they can still qualify, and they have to win now. So both teams really have to win.
I'll tell you what, though, they will be feeling like maybe luck is on their side today, seeing as Schalke didn't manage to beat Celtic. That's already 1 point in their favor. So they must be approaching this match with a very, very serious and hungry attitude and be looking for those 3 points.
So because both teams need to win, Diego, how is this going to change the match? Is it going to be completely free-flowing, or is there going to be even more nerves because of that, and it's going to be quite cagey?
You know what? I told Theo Mead right before before the match, I said, what do we have in store today, Theo? Are you going to give us another heart attack and win it in a crucial,
He loves a late
decisive late goal winner? He looked at me and said, yes, I think so. You know, is Theo Meet a very kind and soft-spoken fellow, and I take his word for it. I think this one might go down to the wire, and I think Boa Vista could just edge Nantes on the day.
Yeah, remember, of course, Boa Vista are a team made up of 3 players. Of course, Christopher, Tiamat and Bounty 27, who hasn't featured in any of the matches. They've stayed with this sort of team, and many people after match day 2, I think, were questioning whether they should mix it up a little bit because it wasn't quite working.
Yeah, I asked them that as well.
They've flipped it on its head and they've done it anyway. So
they believed in
themselves. They believed in themselves, didn't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and they showed a lot of character. It certainly proved me wrong because it was one of the questions that I had for them. I think several times asking maybe if a change in dynamics, change in teammates rather, wouldn't change up the dynamics. Wouldn't that be a good idea? And they just stuck to the gun, saying no. You know, we practice well together. We play well together. Unfortunately, things just haven't gone their way. They pinned it down to, I mean, not only bad luck, obviously, but they did feel that they were being quite hard done by. And I think the results have proven recently that they were right. They won both their matches against Schalke, which is not an easy task. So they will be feeling very confident today, given the position that they're in. They're facing a Nantes that is also desperate for points, but maybe one of the underachievers and an underdog in this case might be the first time in their favor. I'm talking about Boa Vista, that they are seen as the favorite.
Absolutely. Now we've seen Schalke 04 already crash into that bottom 3 today, and they have been mixing up their team during the season. Potentially, can Boa Vista manage to qualify from staying with a specific team lineup, as it is Boa Vista who have the early possession, kicking from right to left, and of course it is FC Nantes in their all-yellow strip, kicking from left to right. And it's a decent start here for Boa Vista down this right-hand side. It's played towards the edge of the area. He's got support in the middle. Falcone especially, but a ball that comes in towards that near post is out of play for a goal kick, and the first of the day so far.
Something we haven't mentioned yet, it's once again an all-French derby, Adam.
It is indeed.
The French so dominant in this game. We've got the extreme pleasure to enjoy so many of their fine pest talents. Surely the French are dominating, as Boa Vista now creating danger and looking for that early goal.
Yeah, on paper you would have to say Boa Vista were favourites going into this tie, being in a better position to qualify, and a recent string of decent results, especially performances from Tiamat as an example. Christopher has popped up with 2 very important goals himself, but Tiamat has been sort of the go-to man, and he was pretty much the go-to man in the 1v1s PES League as well in 2018, up until right at the death in the PES League World Finals, because in all of the qualifying stages he pretty much won them all, or got close. He won 2, I think, and finished top 3 for the third as the ball gets headed over the top, and it's the first real chance, a shot in anger there for FC Nantes, but it was the biggest chance of the match so far.
Well, they're wasting no time. First chance that they enjoyed possession, already trying, able to create danger and almost testing the goalkeeper there. Good stuff there by the guys from Nantes. And you were talking, of course, about Theo Meet, but take nothing away from Christopher, who himself was the first PES League champion all the way back in 2010. Almost a decade ago, can you believe it?
Absolutely, he's back on the scene, ready to take another crown, potentially, of course, for FC Nantes. We have 2 of the sort of middle of the road, should I say, in the mid-20s, because that still seems pretty young for me, but it's it's certainly middle of the road for the players that are taking part here in this tournament. 24 and 25, Alex Giardi and AS Babisque, respectively. And they are going up against 2 players who, well, one of them certainly, as you mentioned, with Christopher, who is a good few years his elder.
Yeah, with all the credentials, all the pedigree necessary to, of course, make this an outstanding match. And we talked about the underdog being Nantes, but as we've said so many times before, Adam, Nantes seen by many of these in the competition as the strongest team, given their height and strength, in particular up top. and we will see if they'll be able to take advantage of it against a very ambitious Boa Vista side so far.
Yeah, indeed. So game one of match 2 on match day 5. I mean, there's a lot of matches and games going on here, but of course, trying to keep the people at home up to date. This is the first of 2 matches that hopefully for these 2 teams, one of them will be able to qualify for that top 3 place. All eyes will be on Monaco afterwards, though, because none of them can qualify without a Monaco draw or defeat.
That's
as
so
Kolo
far
picks it up and tries to play it in towards the penalty area. Koulibaly plays it to Kolo. Now Johan back to Kolo again. This is lovely football here from FC Nantes. Can they pull the trigger, though? They just weren't able to do it, and chance goes away.
Such a congested bit of play right down the middle, as Boa Vista now is trying to break on the counter-attack. Long ball over the top of the fence, but right into the hands of the goalkeeper.
And of course, I'm looking over there at the AS Monaco contingent off screen, and they're on-looking and looking a little bit apprehensive. Is it difficult to switch off until your game if you're on last, or are these just, you know, something you deal with, and you've got that pedigree, you've been to so many finals before, you're used to it, maybe, Diego?
Yeah, I think so. I think in the cases of these guys, they'll surely be used to all the pressure. They've been playing for such a long time. I just mentioned Christopher being the first PES league.
Oh, it's a mistake. Oh, what a save. What a save with the outstretched left boot from FC Nantes #1. And really, Boa Vista will be kicking themselves if they aren't able to win this match, or at least get on the score sheet, because that is a big, big chance.
Gotta be questioning the defense there. What was Nantes doing there?
They maybe potentially need to work on their handshakes a little bit. There was I'm not sure they knew what they was doing there, but nevertheless,
not as coordinated as you and me.
Not as coordinated as their PES play would suggest. So, but yeah, they had a big chance there, a big scare for FC Nantes, and something that Boa Vista will now try and build on here from the set piece, crossing towards Falcone in the middle, headed away only as far as the edge of the area, and it's a stunning save again.
What a shot. Love seeing that. We don't see that very often. All the way out from...
Great technique on either side of the goalkeeper, and that's in, isn't it? He's not going to have time to react on that one. How are Nantes going to approach this? Because they've got the hardest task of qualifying. We said, will they go all out? They haven't. So are they just trying to stay in this tie and try and nick a goal, do you think? Or are they just being pressed back?
Well, I think as we now see the corner flying in there, not being able to connect and test the goalkeeper. Boa Vista, though, regaining possession very quickly. Well, to answer your question, I think we'll see a little bit of both. I think maybe we'll see an onside flick over the top, and now it is a goal.
And it's just what Boa Vista wanted. They went close seconds ago. I said they'd kick themselves if they weren't able to grab a goal. They have grabbed a goal, and that same word comes up again there for FC Nantes. Dejected, the look on their faces, but it was coming. The pressure, the possession, the chances were growing for Boa Vista, and once again, Diego, it was a similar style of finish.
Yeah.
Chip over the top.
Chip over the top. The good old chip over the top. It works every time. We see it time and time again. Beautiful little flick. The one touch, nice. Did ever so well to control the ball, and then beating the goalkeeper.
The movement off the ball here from the centre forward, just to get in front of the defender there, chested it down.
Body strength, absolutely, Adam.
Clinical finish there.
With the outside of the boot as well, very well done.
It's very hard to defend against when the striker is in full flow and has that yard head start on you. And
even their handshake is connecting at this.
It's improving. Maybe they heard. Maybe they've been working on it off screen. You never know. Whilst playing at the same time as the ball gets played through to Koulibaly and cleared away. Half an hour gone, and it's the start that Boa Vista wanted. There is the league table. As things stand, Boa Vista now have jumped into that qualification place of third, again with AS Monaco still to play, who can then leapfrog them again.
Yeah, of course, Monaco still have that game in hand. However, Boa Vista will be feeling very, very confident at this moment in time. And
believe it or not, Pau is still Golden Boot leader as things stand, and he hasn't even kicked a ball in anger yet today.
Pau, the Pichichi.
The Pichichi. As Falcone plays it down to the left-hand side, back to Falcone again, crosses in with the left foot towards the near post, headed down off the foot of the post. Would you believe it? Boa Vista have hit the woodwork again.
Is that
How
the
many
second
times
time?
in this? Well, I mean, in the tournament so far,
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much every match day, they at least hit it twice.
We do. We've seen it time and time again. It's what I was alluding to before, that they've been feeling pretty hard done by and unlucky on many occasions because their football has been spot on sometimes.
Maybe that's the reason why Pau leads the Pichichi.
Maybe
Because,
it
of
is.
course, Boa Vista keep hitting the woodwork as the ball is played through. And we've got an equalising goal. And it's just a response that FC Nantes wanted just when you thought Boa Vista were going to build on that lead. Smash come FC Nantes back into this tie. And they've got to look at themselves now because that was a little bit sloppy from a Boa Vista point of view.
It was sloppy, but you know what? Not doing very well indeed to get a shot on goal here. This is what they have to do, really. I mean, it works every single time. We see so many teams take advantage of that flick over the top, looking for the lone striker to then finish it off in front of goal. It works for Boa Vista, and it worked now for Nantes.
The difference between the two goals was on that occasion, the Boa Vista defence were all at sea. There was no one anywhere near the centre forward, and he made them pay. And now Falcone's in again, and this game, as we said, might it be end-to-end or will it be a stalemate, cagey affair? Well, we've got an end-to-end barnstormer so far, and it could have been 2-1 there.
We do. Yeah, it could have been. Keeper doing very well to keep that ball out of the back of the net. Being tested here multiple times, though, at Boa Vista. Love to see the statistics, see how many shots they've gotten off of goal. We're only, 43 minutes into the first half, and we've seen a plethora of occasions.
Absolutely. 42 minutes gone here. FC Nantes 1, Boa Vista 1. Balled in towards that near post, just up and over the top.
You know what? At this moment in time, if you're Boa Vista, you'll be feeling that you should be leading with a lot more than this 1-0 draw.
You certainly would feel that a little bit hard done by the fact that you've conceded one chance, and it's
that's,
obviously
they've had
resulted in the one
two
goal.
chances, really, not. They've had the chance early on, and obviously now the equaliser.
Absolutely. 2 minutes of added on time in this first half, one that's absolutely flown by, because I didn't even know we were approaching the end of the first half, and here we are, 47 minutes and counting. The referee finally brings the first half to an end, one that's seen Boa Vista edge possession, edge chances, but importantly not edge the scoreline. We are level here at 1-1. And Diego, how did you see that first half, and what are you hoping to see in the second?
Well, it might sound silly for me to say that it felt like a little bit of a one-sided affair. I think Monaco, or Boa Vista, I should say, was bossing Nantes around, and the scoreline is not reflecting that. Nantes in with a chance to still, although Boa Vista here with the ball, and it's cleared off the line.
And what did I say about the amount of times Boa Vista hit the woodwork? Oh, but he's given a penalty. Real drama here, as FC Nantes have conceded a penalty. It was an off-the-ball incident. The referee has pointed to the spot with help from the linesman, I believe, and he steps up from 12 yards, but it's saved by the goalkeeper.
It's saved.
To be in the heads
down the center.
To be in the heads of the Boa Vista men right now. You've hit the woodwork thinking that was going to go in. It trickles along the line. You then think you've been given a lifeline with a penalty, and they've blown it, Diego.
Right down the middle, Adam. What, do you pin that down to good goalkeeping or bad penalty taking?
I personally feel the penalty was not a great one. It was not hit with any real conviction. It wasn't in any of the corners. And it was an easy save. I think if the goalkeeper stays in and around the middle, and as he did, and then just dives late, he can make that save.
Wow. Such drama.
Such
what
drama.
What did I say last match day? You asked me for 2 words. I said big drama on match day.
Well, then you have some utterly knowledge that we don't know here, us mere mortals, as the ball gets played through. But that penalty, of course, could have gone, had the keeper had gone the wrong way, everyone would have gone, oh, look at the composure, just trickles it in into near the middle. But yeah, if the goalkeeper does go the right way, it makes the penalty kick take a look a little bit foolish, as Torre is booked there for a late challenge. And
seems to be a trend as well recently, just taking a penalty straight down the middle. The Panenka penalty is certainly in fashion over here in Spain, at least.
Yeah.
Seeing Ramos and Messi pull those out on
Absolutely.
several occasions.
Absolutely, as the ball gets played up towards the edge of the penalty area, played through towards Falcone, challenged and cleared away by Diego Carlos, and out towards this left-hand side. Kolo again, support from Koulibaly, but goes back inside to Toure, who is on that caution, remember, so he's got to be careful in that heart of the midfield. He can't make any rash challenges with the remaining half an hour to go, otherwise it could put Nantes in real problems. Played through, though, towards Kolo and cleared away. And Boa Vista just hanging on a little bit here.
Hanging on for their dear lives, Adam. They're still in with a chance to, of course, take these 3 points. If you're Boa Vista, though, what you don't want to do is feel basically get the life sucked out of you for not the chances missed, I should say. There's still a lot of gameplay left, and they've been doing very well so far. We saw earlier on the statistics the amount of shots that they had on goal, but they do need to obviously start converting those.
Absolutely, and as you can see on the screen there, we now have an updated table again, as that goal has meant that Boa Vista dropped back out of the top 3, and AS Monaco, without having kicked a ball yet today, are back in the top 3 as the ball gets played through, cleared away. Of course, AS Monaco on 5 points from the opening 4 match days, and of course a win for them against Barcelona would give them 8 points and would far succeed any points tallies from the other teams still going for that qualification. Remember, if you do finish in the bottom 3, they can still qualify through the last chance saloon playoff, and one of those bottom 3 teams will be joining the 3 qualified teams from today in the final.
Look at the tweaks, little tweaks.
So we have come to that 65-minute mark, haven't we, where teams tend to like to make that change. A few tired legs and a few tired heads as well.
That's it. Adam, I'm just having a look at the statistics here in overall, probably not counting this match here, but Nantes, one of the teams that with most shots, not necessarily on goal, but most shots. Now, if you look at their conversion rate, however, if you take into account just the amount of goals that they've scored, Nantes are dead last, only with 12. So their conversion rate, something they will really want to improve on.
Yeah, I remember them from match day 1. They created a hatful of chances and ended up losing the first game. They won I think they won the second game, or drew the second game, scored quite a few goals, conceded a lot, but the amount they missed in that first game was very evident, and they've kind of continued that form throughout this eFootball.Pro League, and certainly perhaps for next season.
And the same goes for Boa Vista, having said that. 12 goals, whereas they've had 27 shots.
And there is the Pichichi table again there.
Hey, the Pichichi.
As Pau still leads the race. El Matador second. Again, he hasn't even kicked a ball, even though Schalke have played, because he wasn't able to travel today. Lotfi in third.
Watch out here.
And it's played through towards the back post, and Mendy with a brilliant interception and clearance, as it looked for all the world to see he was going to steal a march and bury that into the back of the onion bag. 75 minutes gone here, 15 minutes remaining. Are we going to see now, after a pretty frenetic opening 60 minutes, a bit of a stalemate as they both go for that second game now?
Yeah, well, it has been frenetic. It's been end-to-end action over here. This second half, a completely different story from the first half. I think Boa Vista hasn't enjoyed as much possession or shots on goal, for that matter. So it just goes to show just how clinical you do need to be when you have those chances.
Well, can they fashion one more chance before the 90 minutes is out? They have 10 minutes to do it, either one of these teams, to grab an unlikely winner of this first game. Remember, there are 2 games in this match day for these 2 teams. So, of course, this will pretty much be scrapped off as nothing, really. It's a nothing game, isn't it, if it ends a draw, and then we go to the second game, and then it's win, lose, or draw. Simple.
That's it. Just for our audience members who are not privy to the behind-the-scenes over here at the eFootball.Pro studios, you're talking about the Monaco guys, the way they looked very concentrated, a little bit nervous maybe. That has changed. They're right now seeming to enjoy this match.
Yep, they're all smiles at the moment, because they know that they are still, importantly, sitting
this, of course, a good result for them.
Place. Because, just checking this once again before I make a foolish error, I believe if this game finishes a draw and game 2 finishes a draw,
That
1 point apiece, then AS Monaco
they will qualify. They will qualify.
I'm just going to double check that. I'll let you double check that as we've got 1 minute left as FC Nantes 1, Boa Vista 1. Are we going to get one last gasp winner here before the match 2 between these two teams as Rafael Lopez goes bursting down the right-hand side. Falcone in front of him. A chance to cross it in. Is there going to be a goal right at the death here for Boa Vista? No, challenge by Torre, who's been an absolute man mountain in this second half, and it's finished here 1-1 between Nantes and Boa Vista, and we go into that second game where everything is still to play for.
Everything's still to play for, because the way things stand right now, to answer your previous question, on a draw between these two teams, Monaco do qualify.
There you go. So that is why Monaco are sat over there happy as Larry.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, look at them. They're smiles all around. They're feeling very relaxed. But with regards to this game, though, I'm expecting Boa Vista to try somehow to get back to their earlier form in that first half of this match, which where they were very much in control, enjoying not only possession, but as we mentioned, a plethora of chances. So let's see what they can do.
Yeah, so remember, a win for Boa Vista in this second game will mean that as long as AS Monaco don't win against Barcelona, Boa Vista will qualify. A draw or a loss for Monaco will result in Boa Vista qualifying third.
Yes, sir.
If FC Nantes are able to win this game, then through a tributary trickle of different ways, they can still qualify, of course, bearing in mind that Monaco again have to not win, and goal difference, etc., will come into play. And there's quite a big goal difference, I believe, currently. So it still might be very, very difficult. So as far as AS Monaco are concerned, they're probably hoping more if one team has to win a Nantes victory. But towards goal, and Nantes have taken the lead within seconds of the start. And AS Monaco players over there are now finally getting to grips with this game, because now we've got a goal which could change things.
Yeah. Maybe not sitting as comfortably anymore. Wow, what a way to start the second match. We've often seen them do this, though. We've often seen
Nantes come flying out,
taking that early goal, taking the early lead, and then somehow kind of, whether it's complacency or I don't know exactly what it is, but then fall behind. So let's see if they're able to hold on to this lead, doing ever so well there in this occasion to find the open man. Look at that lovely little pass there.
Yeah, some people have said that potentially experience has come into effect with Nantes, and they've got the talent, they've got a great team in FC Nantes, but unfortunately, when they do take the lead, they don't quite, their game management isn't potentially quite as good as some of the other teams.
That's exactly it. I mean, we saw it in last match day. Both times they played Barca on the day, they started out with a lead and then ended up losing.
So 3 minutes on the clock. It was even less than that when the net bulged and FC Nantes took the lead. Can Boa Vista respond? Because of course Boa Vista need two, because one's not good enough.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right, Adam. And I mean, it might be a new situation for them, the fact that they need to. However, they have managed to pull back from a losing position before. So these two boys will certainly not be buckling under the pressure, but rather be facing the challenge head on and trying to look for those goals.
Yes, indeed. And remember, we haven't really talked much about Barcelona so far today, who are sitting in second before today. Well, not before today, but now, of course, because Celtic did win and went to 12. Barcelona on 9, still with that game to play against AS Monaco. But of course, that's still important for Barcelona, because first we'll play fourth once we have those qualified from the bottom 3, and then second we'll play third. So of course, it is still very important for Celtic and Barcelona to finish top.
That's it. Just looking over the points here for Nantes right now with 6, which does put them at 1 point ahead of Monaco. Yeah.
So FC Nantes 1, Boa Vista 0. We will get, as we've suggested, we will get up-to-date tables throughout this remaining 80 minutes or so to let you guys know exactly who currently will be qualifying alongside Celtic and Barcelona, who qualified already in match day 4. 1 qualification place still to be decided today, and then the fourth and final one will be decided just before the final stage. The final top four go head-to-head in that knockout. And as you can see, Monaco still will be qualifying in third place, even as things stand. But it's 2-0. And there was cheers from FC Nantes and there was cheers from AS Monaco.
Wow.
It's a very important goal for FC Nantes.
I'm stunned. I'm stunned, Adam. I'm stunned at the way that the guys from Nantes have approached this match so far, taking a
Where has this been?
Convincing 2-0 lead at the moment. Not at all being affected by the way that the first leg went. Look at this.
But it's been
Beautiful
such a professional performance. And we've said before, they've got the talent, they can score the goals, but their game management has let them down. And I mean, we are only 55 minutes or so in, so that it could still go pear-shaped. But currently, this game has been I mean, we did listen to Alex Giardi with his tips and tricks before the match. Maybe he's been listening to his own tips and tricks, because it is working currently right now.
Yeah, well, you definitely say from the way that they're playing, you can see that they've been practicing more earlier on, something that they haven't been managing to do as much when the competition started. Speaking with both of these guys from Nantes, they were saying how they had a lack of chemistry because they were quite new, hadn't been practicing much. So maybe this is the outcome of just more practice, them gelling well together, because so far this 2-0 is not only deserved, it's well, it's not only expected, it's deserved.
Absolutely. So Toure with the long ball downfield from the halfway line.
Whoa.
Easy claim there as the FC Nantes centre forward, I think that was Kolo, Kolo's went flying in there on the goalkeeper as it's cleared downfield, and now Toure challenged by Falcone, and now forward towards Koulibaly. Now Kolo again. This is lovely one-touch football here for the Nantes. They're in again here. Chance for three. Stayed by the goalkeeper. And they're tearing Boa Vista apart here, Diego.
Wow. Boa Vista. What is going through their minds right now? On the back heel, under pressure, 2 goals down. They need
Have they lost their heads here, Diego?
They need the 3 points. Well, they're in a position where, of course, they need to risk. We've seen it before, Adam. Teams that need to risk will then obviously be exposed in the back and at times pay the consequence.
Do you think they've gone a little bit too early, though, with it's 3! And this is turning into a masterclass performance from FC Nantes. And as you can see on the screen there, the 2 players, Ousmane Kabyle and Lotfi from AS Monaco, they're celebrating a 3rd goal for FC Nantes. How does this going to affect the table now, Diego? Come on, mathematician.
Thanks for putting me on the spot.
I'd love to put you on the spot. I'm going to keep asking you every time there's a goal, because this is getting really juicy.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate the greatness of this?
2 goals.
Scissor kick.
2 goals to the good. You get a corner, you play it in, and then he produces a moment of magic. And I'm not quite sure from up in the gantry who actually was the player to take it. Could have been Koulibaly. I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see when we get clarification. But what a finish it was. The scissors volley there on the side, left foot into the far corner, and Boa Vista are shell-shocked inside the opening 25 minutes here.
Well, not only Boa Vista, I am as well, Adam. I'm lost for words, something that I really did not expect.
I'm not, I knew this was going to happen.
I'm gobsmacked at what I'm seeing right now. I mean, after the first match, we saw it finished quite equal in terms of the chances, etc., the style of play between the two. But this second match is a completely different story. Nantes just bossing.
Oh, that's a late challenge. They're a little bit too exuberant here, FC Nantes. They've got to keep their heads. They can't afford to lose a player. And I thought I just saw a red, but it was just a yellow. That's why I took a deep breath there. As the ball gets played through towards Falcone and then headed clear.
Well, it's desperation now for Boa Vista. Long balls every single time, looking for their strikers and see what they can do here.
And now
nice little touch. Pass down the middle. Can he get a shot off? He does.
Good save in the end. Still AS Monaco cheering over there. And I'm not too sure whether it's cheering the French contingent or cheering the fact that their
You know exactly what it
chances
is,
of going
Adam.
through is heightened.
You know exactly what it is. There's a lot of trash talking going on behind the scenes. I don't know
So,
if viewers can
as you can see there, this is how we're going to clarify this. FC Nantes have got a -1 goal difference.
That's it.
And AS Monaco have a +4. So FC Nantes need a 5-goal swing in this second match to level proceedings and hope. Well, actually, not necessarily, because if AS Monaco lose and Barcelona score a few goals, it could get
also
very interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
So these cheers from AS Monaco at these Nantes goals might come back to haunt them.
Let's see if it does.
Having said that,
smiling.
Oh, having said that, of course, 4-goal swing for Boa Vista, which is looking incredibly unlikely right now, but that would see Boa Vista leapfrog Nantes and AS Monaco into that third spot right now.
Well, but it's not over yet, Adam. We've seen a lot of crazy things take place in this competition so far. And right now, as we enter the 40th minute of the first half, there's still time for Boa Vista to maybe score 4 goals or more, or at least tie it up. Who knows?
Who knows indeed. Remember, there's a potential, and I say potential because it would be heartbreaking to go out on this, but there may be a tie-break if Nantes are to win and score enough goals. AS Monaco lose, concede enough goals, it might go to a tie-break if the goal difference is level as the ball gets played through.
Lovely bit of play there from the Boa Vista guys.
This game is just too quick to get any stats out to the viewers as the ball gets played through. It's in again, it's Koulibaly, and it's behind for another corner, I believe. Just waiting for clarification whether it came the last touch off the defender, but it's a whirlwind performance here from FC Nantes.
It is.
And it's another yellow card for Touré, who got booked in the first game, I believe, as well. So
yeah, not racking up the yellow cards. Not a team that is shy from tackling in the first place.
It's flicked on towards Colo, looking for that 4th goal. Surely 4. He's in the post. Imagine if they go out by 1 goal. Unbelievable scenes. And it's finished.
As I see Uz Macabal from Monaco saying, no more goals, no more goals. What is going on?
Diego.
Well, what's going to happen
I'm exhausted,
now,
and we're only halfway through.
I understand. What is going on right now, Adam? Boa Vista forced to risk now pushing players up high the pitch. What can they do really at this moment in time? Imagine, I mean, they're 3 goals down. There could have been 4. They're very unlucky not to have taken the 4th goal before the half. But what can they do now, Adam?
It's going to be incredibly difficult because not only have they got to hugely improve how they're playing, they've got to stifle some force here from FC Nantes. And like you said, it left Boa Vista shell-shocked, it left you shell-shocked, it's left me shell-shocked because we know they were capable of this, but other than possibly 20 minutes in the opening fixture on match day 1, they've not been able to deliver that promise. And finally, it almost feels like they have to win. They have to win big, and the shackles are off, as Wes mentioned in his post-match analysis or pre-game analysis for match day 5 as well.
As we, I mean, before we started the second half here, now on the way, we saw basically Boa Vista changing their formation to a 4-1-5. Not exactly that way, of course, but my point being they are not only willing to risk, they have to risk. I wonder if not on the other side will sit back and absorb that kind of pressure, or will they be looking for more goals?
I think they're going to look for more goals because they know there's still a 5-goal swing needed. And they know that Monaco aren't a team generally to collapse. I mean, they have lost, they have been beaten before, they can lose to Barcelona. Barcelona are quite an outfit and have already qualified, rightly so. Pau, top goal scorer, Chichi at this moment in time. But yeah, they certainly, if they can grab another maybe 1 or 2 goals, it could make a lot of pressure sort of build on AS Monaco's shoulders going into that final game.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, those laughs might come back to haunt them. Who knows if that'll be the case.
Unfortunately, with the life of social media these days, there may be a GIF around the corner, a little image or a video.
Is that you created?
But no, I wouldn't create it, obviously. A bit of banter maybe from FC Nantes.
Oh, bad clearance there.
As Touré now bursts away with his booking to his name. He's got Kolo on the left, again going forwards. Another late challenge there from Boa Vista. Referee plays a good advantage out towards Johan, and now Neris mops up the danger, and it's been a similar sort of vein of the game so far in the second half.
Got some space here, maybe. Nope.
End to end. Still.
End-to-end stuff. I'm expecting nothing less for these remaining, 30 minutes or so. As, again, we see Boa Vista maybe tweaking their formation a little bit. Yeah.
Where's it all gone wrong for Boa Vista so far?
Well, that's a good question, Adam. I'm going to be sure to ask Christopher and Tiomit exactly that, because from what we saw in that first match, they looked so convinced. They looked so
They were the better
confident.
team, weren't they?
They were the better team. To then drop behind 3 goals in the second match.
Inside 25 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a blitz.
Yeah, it really was. It was very much exactly that, a blitz, Adam. And to be honest, I don't know where it went wrong. I mean, maybe overconfidence, complacency, who knows? I mean, but having said that, Nantes is not a bad team. We've seen them create many chances themselves and put the big teams like Celtic and Barca under pressure. So, you know, maybe they learn from their mistakes as well. We criticized them previously, how they're a team that manages to sometimes go in front but then mismanage the team and lose that lead. Well, maybe they learn from their mistakes.
Maybe. Remember, they are just 24 and 25 years of age, respectively. And even though there are players that are a lot younger, it's still a fairly youthful number, as the long throw comes in towards Falcone, flicked on towards Mateus. And really, if you're an AS Monaco player, you kind of possibly want a couple of consolation goals for Boa Vista, but for it to remain as a Nantes victory, as it gets played through.
Here. Oh, he just cannot connect. He cannot connect.
Oh, challenged by Koulibaly.
Oh, no.
He's in here again. It's a mistake from the defender. A chance for 4. Oh, what an important goal that might have been.
Wow. Just keeping that turbo button pressed a little bit too long. Something I do a little bit
A bit trigger happy.
A bit trigger happy.
That might be a moment that they look back on.
Yeah. As Boa Vista now is looking for their opening goal. Cross is coming in.
Because in 65 minutes, if you go to 4-0 up, that could then very, very easily become 5 and 6.
Yeah.
And then that could completely put all the pressure on AS Monaco.
And the Monaco guys have gone silent in the second half.
Out towards the right-hand side, but hacked back into the middle, and now Toure can't quite find a Nantes player. Bueno picks it up, and he's got support from Falcone. Falcone looking for Mateus, but it's been intercepted. They win it back. It's Rafael Lopez!
It is. Oh.
And it's wide of the target. And when you can't buy a goal, that's the sort of things that begin to start happening.
Yeah, well, when it rains, it pours. Things just not going Boa Vista's way in this second match of the second leg of the second match of the day. Things have to, I mean, they need to at least test the goalkeeper if they want to stand a chance. It was a good chance. He was left unmarked, and in that case, you want to get it at least on target, Adam.
More changes again for both as we tick into that all-important last section of the match, the final third. And
interesting there, actually, Boa Vista pulling a few players back and widening up the formation over on the left.
So 3-0 up, 3-0 inside, I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, around 25 minutes, and then nothing since, although chances have come and gone for both. But importantly, possibly more for AS Monaco than anything, it stayed at 3-0 as Falcone plays it through towards Bueno.
This is it, surely, Adam.
3-1.
This is it.
And that's the goal that not only potentially brings a tiny
Lifeline.
bit of life back into Boa Vista's challenge.
You've got to take it.
But it's a goal that will reaffirm AS Monaco's position as well.
Yeah, but if you're Boa Vista, you want to take it. Look, the remontada, as they call it here, the comeback has to start somewhere. This is a goal that at least they have to take it as a sort of lifeline, try to get some motivation and above all inspiration from this to try to get something out of this in a desperate final attempt to get the 3 points.
So, Christopher and Tiomit find themselves 3-1 down with 15 minutes or so remaining,
Yeesh.
plus stoppage time.
Mammoth task.
It's a mammoth task. It's a mountain to climb. He's in again here. It's offside. But as we mentioned, that goal has just chalked off one more on the goal difference that Nantes now trail AS Monaco. And remember, they hit the post and they overran a massive chance on 60 minutes to make it 4-0 as the ball gets played through. Bueno, saved by the goalkeeper. They certainly don't want to concede another.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Good little through ball, though.
Had that have gone in, then it could have been a very, very scary last 15 for Nantes, as Boa Vista could sense a turnaround. A turnaround of 4-3 would see Boa Vista go into the qualification stages, something that AS Monaco desperately don't want. They don't want a Boa Vista win. Mateus in towards Bueno. Could this be a moment that we all look back on when the tides change and the competition blows wide open? What have they got to do, Diego?
Well, if you're not, I'm thinking you all you want is to get the chance to get out on the breakaway, just like we see Koulibaly here. Can he pull off a shot? Goes in for the pass, and it's a goal!
And Alex Giardi pumps his fists to the sky because they're back with a 3-goal cushion. And well, it's the end of Boa Vista, isn't it?
That is.
It's a sad sight to see.
Not only do we see the players out on the pitch, but also Tiomit and Christopher looking very sad on right now for having conceded that 4th goal, which, as you mentioned, Adam, I think is KO in this case, with just a little bit over 10 minutes left to play.
Yeah.
As we see, give credit to Nantes for putting in this time that extra pass, finding the open man. Koulibaly, I think it was, waiting, lurking around the penalty spot.
Some connection there.
Fantastic
and
stuff.
as I said, fist pumps to the sky. And as you said, KO for Boa Vista in matchday 5 for automatic qualification. They can't do it today, but of course they will go into that last chance saloon alongside 2 other teams to fight it out to finish 4th and go into the final stages. Colo, he's in again here. And he's scythed down. Referee surely has a big decision to make. Was he last man, Diego?
No.
What's he given? He's gone to his pocket and he has sent him from the field. A deserved red card for me. You were a bit indifferent. You weren't quite sure. From where I was looking, it looked like the last man. And of course, double jeopardy wouldn't come into effect as it was not a penalty. It was a free kick, but they're always, you're not quite sure how the referee's going to go. They can go one way or the other. On this occasion, he sent him from the field, and now they have 6 minutes, Nantes, to rack potentially another goal or 2.
Surely they'll be looking for it.
Absolutely, because this could mean the difference now.
Yep.
Once again, AS Monaco on the edge of their seats off camera, as they can see that these 3 minutes, if there's another goal for Nantes and it makes it 5-1, then Barcelona are very well capable of scoring 2 or 3 goals in this next game against AS Monaco.
Yes, indeed.
Put it like that.
Yes, indeed they are. But what I'm really curious to know right now is how are the guys from Monaco feeling, knowing that Nantes are facing a side down to 10 men, as we now see a 3-on-1.
He's in again.
Polo is in.
A chance.
What
Chance for another goal. Oh,
he's in the post.
I can't believe it. He's hit the post in the dying embers of the match, and that would have made it 5-1, and that goal could have been enough. We will never know until the Monaco game finishes, as Falcone goes through, and now heartbreak for Nantes in the goal difference department. It won't matter on the day. They will still win the tie, but they look devastated by conceding, because 4-2, it flatters Boa Vista. You feel a little bit, because Nantes have been by far the better team today.
Yeah. I mean, well, this goal that you managed to score at the end, it just comes down to the fact that all the Nantes guys was doing was looking for that 5th goal that would have allowed them to be in that 3rd position, at least for a while, until Monaco plays their match against Barca. But
an awful mistake.
Awful mistake here.
Against the 10 men of Boa Vista as well. You've got to give Boa Vista a lot of credit.
But this game was over, Adam. I think we're in the 93rd minute now. 3 minutes of extra time.
We are indeed, as we said, the dying embers of this match.
It.
And probably as soon as kickoff happens, the referee brings the game to an end, and it's finished here. Nantes 4, Boa Vista 2. I am dying to hear what the guys have to say with Diego in the mix zone very, very soon. We'll hear from both the Boa Vista players firstly, I believe, and then FC Nantes, who were the victors on the day. They will go into contention to qualify, but they need quite a significant goal difference shift in the final game. Their prayers will be with Barcelona to create a riot on that AS Monaco back line. As you can see, star player Colo, 8.5 rating there. A stunning performance from the big centre forward, and they utilised him very, very well today. And as they start making their way off the stage, AS Boavista and Alex Giardi, handshakes between them and Tiamat there of Boa Vista, and of course Christopher, who has just nipped off out of screen, and he's back on again there, as you can see. Commiserations, of course, to those two players, but it's not over because they can still qualify through the last chance saloon. As we just get the actual stats from the game, as you can see, the one win for Nantes gives them all 3 points. The first game finishing a draw, a goal for AS Boavista for Nantes, and Christopher PW for Boa Vista. And then in the second game, FC Nantes ran riot in the opening 25 minutes. Alex Giardi, followed by AS Boavista, and then the third from Alex Giardi gave them a real foothold and a chance, a real chance to cause an upset in this qualification for the next stage by putting all the pressure on Monaco. And then a goal from Boa Vista made it a little bit more difficult, but then they went 4-1 in front, a hat-trick from Alex Giardi. And then that sucker punch at the end after missing a glorious chance, hitting the post to make it 5-1. They conceded a second goal to make it 4-2. And as you can see there, that means that their goal difference is -2 if the table serves me correct, which means that AS Monaco have 4 goals plus, which means 6 goals more, and they need a huge Barcelona goal swing over the 2 games, something they are capable of. But of course, they've got to keep AS Monaco out, and they are no stranger to scoring themselves. Just a few highlights here from the game here. That was the first from the first game. Boa Vista took the lead, and at that moment in time, we actually thought here in the studio that Boa Vista were going to put all sorts of pressure on AS Monaco, because that actually leapfrogged AS Monaco for Boa Vista, should I say, into that 3rd spot. And then the second goal came from FC Nantes, which was an equalising goal, and it was a fairly cagey affair after that as they looked to really make the difference in that second game, both teams. But of course, as we well know, only one team made the difference in that second game. 2 very similar goals in that opening game. The chip over the top and then the first time finish, and then into the second game it took just 1 minute and 53 seconds for FC Nantes to take the lead, and it was a cute bit of play in and around the edge of the area, fired home on the left foot into the bottom corner. Goalkeeper absolutely no chance, of course. And at this moment in time we thought, okay, it's a bit of a surprise potentially that Boa Vista haven't actually taken the lead, but of course FC Nantes then sort of went into overdrive and of course scored a second, a third and almost a fourth before conceding, and then it finished 4-2 overall. And of course a wonderful performance from FC Nantes. Commiserations, as we said, for Boa Vista, who I believe we may be hearing from very soon from Diego there in the mix zone. Diego, commiserations, as I said, to the guys. What have they got to say about the 2 games?
Cheers, Adam. Yes, here I'm joined here by Tiamat and Christopher. Guys, also for my part, commiserations on the loss. I need to ask you guys, after the first match, it looked so good. You guys looked so confident out to get those 3 points. Where did it all go wrong?
What can I say? I think everybody since the game, We played the first game very well, with a lot of confidence. Not a random game. We play very sure. I think you touch 3 balls at the post, and in the same occasion before the penalty, unfortunately, we fail the ball on the line. No, but it's be part of the game also. But it's a pity when you see the second game. They shoot each occasion. It's a goal for them. And when you see the first game, normally we have the first win, and with the first win, it's another second game. It changed. It's very different games, but congratulations to them for their win on the second game. I think it's not deserved because when you saw the first game, I think you did enough to take at least 1 point today, and maybe more, but that's the game. You are ready for it, and now you will prepare well the next games, so we will play on the last chance.
You mentioned it yourself. You say it's not deserved, and you talk a lot about the missed chances, hitting the post, the ball going over the line, the missed penalty, of course, but where do you feel it went out? I mean, that second match, a 4-2 loss, it was a very much a one-sided affair. Where do you feel that you guys lost control, the control that you guys had in that first match?
Honestly, it's very difficult to explain. You know, on the game, I dislike to find excuse, but you know, you have something on the game that's named script, and sometimes some things you can control, like the kickoff on all football games, like the last time I talked about that. It's very difficult. I think you take 1 goal, 1 or 2 goals at the kickoff. And so we started very badly the second game, but it's very difficult to explain a real reason how you did a great top game on the first game, and the second we can think it's not the same team controlling the controller. So I have no words. I think you will take the time to analyze. But when I said it's undeserved, it's in comparison with the first game. I think you deserve to win the first game, and if you win the first, it changed completely the match day. But that's the game. Congratulations to them, and the 3 teams qualify already, and we'll work to be the last team.
That's it. I mean, Christopher, it's not over yet. So, guys, keep up the spirit, keep up the play as well, because we've seen some fantastic football coming from you guys all season long. The best of luck to the guys from Boa Vista, as I'm shortly joined by Nantes, the victors of the day, Alex, GRD, and AS Boavista. First of all, here's the hat trick for you, sir. Great job, hat trick. 4 goals on the day. You guys were looking for that 5th goal. It didn't come. Were you surprised with how things went your way the second the second match, considering the way the first match went?
Yes, because the first match was very hard. It was a war to have a draw, so we were lucky on the first game, but in the head we were here, and it's why we have the draw in the first game. And second game we played very good game, spectacular, and
Koulibaly goal, good. Koulibaly, very good goal.
Koulibaly MVP.
There's no doubt about it. The big
Koulibaly.
the big striker there, getting all the goals. I wanted to know, did you guys get encouraged? We heard the Monaco guys being very vocal during the match, encouraging you guys on to score more goals. It was 3-0, and then at 4, when it was almost 4, they were saying, okay, no more goals. Did you guys take this as motivation to keep looking for more goals? Yeah.
I saw this, yeah. Usma, good word during the game, but when we were near to the 5th, 6th game,
he was saying no more goals, please.
Stop.
Well, guys, of course, Monaco still has to play their match against Barça. It looks very unlikely that you do qualify directly for the final round, but you surely will have taken a lot of confidence and encouragement from this match, won't you?
Yeah, disappointed to not be qualified, but very happy from what we showed today, and confident for the playoff last chance.
All right. Well, Alex, again, congratulations, AS Boavista as well. Fantastic performance from the guys from Nantes. We've seen it all season. These guys playing some fantastic football. Today it paid off. The 3 points go to Nantes, but maybe not enough to go directly through to the final round. That's it, madam, for me here. Back over to you.
Cheers, Diego. Yeah, thank you very much, Diego. Of course, I've kind of got to agree with Christopher a little bit. I mean, that first game, they were the better team. They missed a hatful of chances. They hit the woodwork. They missed a penalty, of course. And it's very difficult to mentally get into that second game knowing you should have won the first game. And if you do win the first game, as he suggested, the second game becomes very different. You've already got a win under your belt, for example. But you've got to give great credit to FC Nantes, who underperformed in that first game and kind of have for a couple of match days. And finally, they hit top gear when they needed it. Of course, AS Monaco were looking on at bated breath a little bit, because as the goals started racking up, it meant that AS Monaco were then starting to think, hello, could Nantes catch us here? But of course, 2 quick fire goals from Boa Vista in 2 halves meant that it finished 4-2. So that's where we're at. FC Nantes are the only team that can now qualify outside of AS Monaco, but there needs to be a huge goal shift. And Barcelona need to do Nantes a massive, massive favour. Now, of course, Alex Giardi mentioned about Koulibaly being the MVP from that game. Of course, our actual players that are playing here for the teams for PES Esports can actually be your MVP. Wes, our PES expert in the post-match analysis program, will be selecting his from the 3 games, and then you guys at home on Twitter can make your overall decision for who is going to be Matchday 5's MVP. It's been a brilliant 2 games so far. I nearly said 3 because it feels like we've had 3. We've, of course, got the 3rd to come yet as well, which is, of course, the all-important Barcelona versus, of course, the other team which are looking to qualify, AS Monaco. So we are just looking for the next game, which is, of course, as I've just said, them 2 teams, AS Monaco versus Barcelona, and I believe they are coming to the stage right now. Take it away.
Hola a todos, estamos aquí para responder a las preguntas que nos habéis mandado estos días en las redes sociales de eFootball.Pro, así que vamos con ello.
Vamos allá. De Tomás T. Balonga, ¿qué es lo más duro del día a día como jugador profesional del PES?
Aguantar a Pau. No.
A ver, quizá la regularidad, ¿no? Tener una regularidad en el nivel y tal.
Sí, quizá que los hábitos, ¿no? Los nuevos hábitos que hemos cogido estos últimos meses de los más difíciles.
Sí, también, adaptarse a todo eso.
Pero una vez estamos ya adaptados, súper contentos.
Sí.
A J-Trenado84, ¿qué ideas incluirías en PES 2020 para mejorar su modo de cara a los eSports? Me interesa vuestra opinión.
Hombre, a ver, el modo offline yo lo mejoraría más, la verdad. Antes, los pros anteriores, había más cosillas y eso. ¿No crees?
Sí, yo lo que sí tendría muy claro es qué es lo que quiere Konami a la hora del competitivo para el próximo año. Si quiere My Club o quiere medias igualadas, como tenemos hasta ahora. Hay que perfeccionar el sistema de medias PES League, como tenemos hasta ahora, porque no está muy bien pulido. Y a partir de ahí, sí es verdad que necesitamos torneos offline, donde tener objetivos diariamente para marcarse durante todo un año y, como no, también competiciones. Necesitamos competiciones, unos buenos servidores y, bueno, así lo pronto yo creo que hay que pulir todo un poco, el sistema online.
Compatibilidad de conexiones también, que hay veces que no deja jugar.
Y un punto siempre que todos estáis de acuerdo es hacer un bracket, siempre antes de definir unas plazas para un regional o una final nacional, un bracket creo que es el más justo.
De Saed Yanuzaj, ¿cuántas horas jugáis al PES al día? ¿Qué os hace buenos jugadores? Hombre, cuando suele haber jornadas jugamos más horas. Jugamos cada día quizá unos 8 partidos, más o menos. Después, pues depende, cuando tengamos jornadas, ¿no? Pero quizá ponemos unas 3-4 horas.
3 o 4 horas al día.
3-4 horas.
Jugar. ¿Y qué es lo que nos define como mejores jugadores? No sé, yo creo que la mentalidad. Pau viene de ser el único jugador español en ganar el Mundial, 1 contra 1, y tiene una trayectoria súper brillante, y por mi cuenta yo me defino por mi mentalidad. Yo creo que al fin y al cabo sí, es lo más importante a la hora de llegar a estos niveles, porque todo el mundo puede entrenar, todo el mundo puede llegar a un gran nivel, pero la mentalidad es la que marca la diferencia.
Yo he conocido mucha gente que es muy bueno jugando online, lo que pasa es que luego llega la hora de jugar, por ejemplo, un campeonato de España, que antes era presencial y todo eso, y no jugar bien, porque hace falta tener sangre fría y mentalidad. Sí. Y la última de 730 visual, ¿cuál es el mejor equipo de la eFootball.Pro aparte del Barça? Hombre, yo creo que los más fuertes son Nantes y Mónaco.
Sí, yo creo que el equipo que más rompe puede ser Nantes, pero el equipo que más me gustaría llevar sería Mónaco. Tiene tantos recursos físicos y de cambio. Es brutal y muy fuerte en defensa y totalmente así.
Sí.
Así que nada, chicos, hemos acabado por aquí. Es un placer ver todas vuestras preguntas y espero vemos en próximos vídeos. Seguir apoyándonos, que tenemos que seguir en racha aquí en eFootball.Pro. Saludos.
Yeah, so Diego was being swamped over there for autographs, which is why we went to a lovely Q&A there with the Barcelona guys. But of course, we are now ready for the final match of Matchday 5, the all-important one that everyone's been looking for. It is Barcelona, it is AS Monaco. They're going head-to-head to see if AS Monaco can finally firm up that third position spot. Take it away.
Welcome guys, in your hands.
So, Diego,
Yeah.
Barcelona versus AS Monaco, our final game in this extravaganza of Matchday 5. To some extent, a little bit of an anticlimax because it looks like it's going to be incredibly difficult for AS Monaco to throw this away.
3-0, 3-0, Adam. That's all I'll say. 3-0, 3-0. Who knows? Certainly Barca is capable.
You've just perked up my excitement again. I'm back in the match. I never doubted it for a second.
Certainly Barca is capable of scoring 3 goals.
Can they stop AS Monaco scoring in both games, though? That's the question.
Well, that is the question. That is the question. I mean, in fact, this is the only game where the teams will decide their own future. In the case of Barca, if they win, they'll be regular league winners. On the other hand, if Monaco wins, they'll be the third team to qualify for the finals. So a massive game. We've been looking out for it all day long, all month long, I should say, ever since Matchday 4 ended, of course. And all eyes will, of course, be set on in this case, what Barca can do. And like I said, I don't see it inconceivable.
I mean, they are going up against, AS Monaco are going up against the top goal scorer.
That's it,
the top assist maker,
top
I believe.
Assist maker and Alex, and Alex as well is coming into his own right, getting a couple of goals in there jeez.
You've been listening to me too much.
On his own. You know what's been interesting about that, though? I mean, we talked about it with Wes, of course, him talking about Alex and seeing him coming into his own. Having said that, and having spoken to Alex a little bit behind the scenes, I think he's been very much kind of taking the backseat or allowing Pau to build his confidence by feeding him the goals. Kind of, you know, he often talks about how Pau was the underdog. Kind of a lot of people were surprised and turned their heads when Pau was named his teammate. So I think this is Alex's way of giving him confidence, feeding him with assists, and take nothing away from Pau, him doing ever so well to, of course, finish those off.
Yeah, but also you've got to take into account that Alex played as a co-op team in the PES League World Finals, and they were victorious.
Yeah.
And he played a similar role there with Eterito, who was the sort of the standout goal scorer, you could say, and Alex had a bit more of a backseat then. So it seems to be his style. That even though he was the big name in the duo, not discounting what Pau had done before, but in recent years he was the big name, Alex. It still seems to be, I think he prefers being perhaps slightly under the radar a little bit. So whatever it is, it's working. So.
It's very much so working for these two, and they've gelled from the get-go. It was interesting. We talked about Matchday 1 earlier on. When they faced Schalke, things didn't go immediately their way, but ever since then they've turned the page, and they've been gelling like give me a good one here. Gelling like
Brill Cream.
Brill Cream.
Even though that's not a gel, it's a cream. But I was thinking of a brand that did gel and I couldn't. Anyway, we'll go back to, of course, the qualification, the 6-goal swing needed, and to go to the actual full rule book. Let's go to the statistics of the whole thing. A 6-goal swing now would mean that they would be level on goals, and it would mean a tiebreaker match would have to be played between AS Monaco and FC Nantes according to rule 3.5.2.4.
There you go.
How's that?
That is
How's
fantastic.
that for you?
That is,
you gotta love
fantastic.
you gotta love a points of a rule. So FC Barcelona versus AS Monaco, the final game, the third game in matchday 5, which has been epic beyond proportion so far, but this is the one that everyone has been waiting for, and it is Barcelona kicking from left to right in their away strip versus AS Monaco in their away strip, kicking from right to left, and it's Barcelona who have got on the front foot. And an early goal for Barcelona, Diego, would blow things a bit wide open, wouldn't they?
Ooh, as we see already, Masingo trying to put Slot in a deadly pass there. But yeah, absolutely it would. And Barca, one of the teams with the highest conversion rate so far, 16 goals from only 39 shots.
Oh, he's
That's
in.
41%.
He's in.
Boateng.
It's Boateng. Pulls it back. It's
Suarez.
Luis Suarez.
Oh!
And we've got an opening goal. And this could really be a real turn up for the books here.
Well,
Okay, so in case you're wondering why the usually non-silent me went silent, it's because there was basically the game is going to have to be restarted because one of the game modes was selected incorrectly, which is unfortunate, of course, for Barcelona, but it still means that the game would have been wrong from the start. So we would have had to stop whatever, and I believe we will now go back to our beautiful faces, Diego. So I'm sorry, guys at home, that was enjoying that match. And now you're going to have to look at me again. But hey,
well, what a start to.
Where do we start? What a great game. Brilliant game there. Where do we start? So, well, let's talk about what we actually saw in that opening 10 minutes or so. I mean, it was a lightning start for Barcelona, wasn't it? And we were talking about the start that they needed to allow Nantes to possibly get a bit excited, and it kind of happened.
Yeah, it did.
So they're going to have to do it again, though.
They will have to do it again, but I was trying to throw a stat out there. I mean, if you look at Barca, 16 goals so far throughout the competition, and only on 39 goals. That's around, I think, a 41% for a percentage conversion rate. That's very optimistic if you're Barca.
Yeah.
Monaco, on the other hand, 16 goals from nearly 60 shots. I think it's 56 shots. So that has to be encouraging for the likes of Barca, but in particular Nantes, who might fancy their chances of still going through as the third.
And of course, we've got to remember that, you know, Barcelona, they're going to want to win.
Yeah.
So we keep talking about how this is hugely important for AS Monaco and Nantes, etc. But it's important for Barcelona as well, because they want to finish top above Celtic.
They want not only finish on top of Celtic, but they want to be regular league winners, of course. Yeah, absolutely.
Well, winning breeds confidence, doesn't it? So, you know, every time you win a game, you get that sort of feeling of invincibility, and, you know, they've won 3 on the spin, and they want to make it 4 for sure.
And for that final match, if whoever finishes first will face the 4th, of course. So that is another
which will either be, of course, well, we're still waiting, obviously, but it's looking like that will either be FC Nantes, Boa Vista, or
Schalke.
Schalke, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
good
we are good to rock and roll in the final game again, and hopefully, from Barcelona's point of view, they can have another equally lightning start. So, Barcelona kicking from left to right, AS Monaco kicking from right to left, and
I wonder what this does mentally for either Barca or Monaco, if Monaco will feel quite relieved not to have gone. They were down 1-0, obviously, just right at the when the play got interrupted and stopped.
Unfortunately, and we don't like to see it, but unfortunately that is one of the downsides of a live tournament, and that is the case. And it happens right across esports. There are things that are uncontrollable, and the players have to mentally prepare for that. And the thing is, they are good enough to prepare for that. And it is stop-start at times, esports, by the nature. And like I said, they've become accustomed to it over the years. They're all, as we've mentioned about Pau, for example, you know, almost, I think 2012, I believe, he won the World Finals. I think that was
2012.
Yeah, that was one of the earliest. So, you know, there's a long history. The rest of them have all been in and there or thereabouts over the last 5 years, certainly. So,
ready to go.
Take two in match two of match 3 of match day 5. How's that for you?
That's good.
And it's Luis Suarez who will get things underway. And Vidal is going to take the ball off him, I believe, straight from the kickoff, kicking in the all-yellow strip, of course, Barcelona, the away strip, and AS Monaco in their non-home strip as well. I thought I'd mix it up. Instead of saying away strip, I'd say non-home. So, the ball's been played out of play. And we're just waiting for the AS Monaco players, I believe, are having a chat between themselves.
They're discussing.
They're discussing something.
I think not fully everything yet is according to
and
plan.
often this happens, and unfortunately for the guys watching at home, this does happen, as I mentioned in esports, but it happens when the stakes are so high, because these players know that they have to get absolutely everything right. Otherwise, they'll never forgive themselves. If they were to crash out, for example, and they felt there was something wrong, they need to obviously, you know, make their case heard.
Well, exactly, Adam. And if there was ever any doubt that these guys were not taking this serious, or that there was not much to play for, just look how serious they're taking this. As we see Uzmakabao and Pau getting into it now, words being exchanged back and forth, but that just adds to the drama of this exciting league that is eFootball.Pro.
Uzmakabao loves a bit of drama, though, doesn't he? We saw that last week.
Yeah, well, we saw it last week. We saw him laughing as well earlier on. So
no, he means business. All the tricks of the trade come out as well. So
take 3.
Right, let's get this again. So take 3 of match 1. Match 1 of match 3 in match day 5.
Okay, there you go.
How's that for you?
Will do.
And the players make their way out onto the field in this truly awe-inspiring stadium here.
Under
the floodlights there, the eFootball.Pro arena.
You can cut the tension with a knife here. I'm feeling tensed up at the start of this one. This take 3.
Tense as well.
Let's see if take 3 will be the final take, and we can see this match get underway. This highly anticipated match at this point.
So, of course, Mr. Gerard Piqué at the base of the defence, usually stewarding the rest of his team in their quest for victory. And AS Monaco have Naldo in that same position. Look at that absolutely terrific eFootball.Pro arena there.
State-of-the-art stuff, Adam. State-of-the-art stuff as Alex Aguathil gets this game underway, passing it to Pau. Messi now with the ball, chipping it over to try to find Suarez, but couldn't connect. And Monaco now enjoying a little bit of possession, but they get dispossessed very quickly. Barca now hitting them on the counter. Nope. Back and forth stuff as we are in minute 3 already, Adam.
We are indeed. A beautiful stadium, a beautiful league, a beautiful team. And what a stop that would have been for AS Monaco. Fired across the foot of the post, and that would have been really controversial had that have gone in.
Beautiful shot on the post there to finish off your sentence there.
Yeah, almost. I was kind of halfway through the sentence, but these players are just too good. They'd had enough of what I had to say, and they wanted to get the first chance of the game underway as Lionel Messi picks the ball up back heel, tries to find Rafinha, but blocked, and now it's forward towards Martins, and he jinks back onto his right foot. Blocked, though, from Chummy, and has a chance to clear, and does at the second attempt, up towards the maestro. The talisman, Lionel Messi, finds Luis Suarez. What a front 3 Barcelona have in their contingent as the ball gets played forward to the AS Monaco front line, who also are no shy to a bit of talent up there.
No, not at all, not at all. One of the juggernauts of the competition. seen by most people I've spoken to as the big favorite. As Monaco is here in with a chance and a shot on goal, but it gets saved by Ter Stegen.
So Barcelona started incredibly well in that opening game, and since the restart, it's been all AS Monaco.
Yeah, completely different outlook than from what we saw from the take one. If we have to rewind all the way to take one, where Boateng got on the score sheet early, as it now again the ball gets put over the top. Ter Stegen.
Brave defending that.
Yeah, very much so. Looking for Messi, Boateng. Back heel by Suarez to find Rafinha. Messi on the ball now, plays it wide. What we're going to see here, the cross. Looking for Suarez. Nope. Corner kick.
It's headed out of play for the first corner to Barcelona, who have enjoyed the vast amount of possession of 54 to 46. Punch clear by the goalkeeper up towards Guana, and now forward towards Martins. Intercepted though, and back to Chumi, playing the ball around nicely here.
Very much end-to-end stuff so far. 20 minutes in, and chances for both sides.
So who would you
see Barca
fear?
right now maybe trying to take the sting out of it a little bit?
Possibly. 21 minutes gone, and they did realise that AS Monaco had started like a house on fire.
Yeah.
And they've certainly poured a few buckets of water on that as they get their foot on the ball, as Boateng now skips down the left-hand side. Real chance here for Barcelona.
Oh, that's it.
Lionel Messi.
No!
What an unbelievable bit of defending that was at the back post.
Bit of, wow. Good man marking for sure.
Man marking, courage,
yeah.
The lot. And as you can see, as things stand, AS Monaco do not need to do anything else. They will qualify not only on goal difference, but of course with a point, making them 6-5 over FC Nantes. Guana goes down in the box, nothing given to the referee. And AS Monaco take the lead. Just when you thought the referee was going to bring it back for a penalty, he played a good advantage, and it's fired in. And we said that AS Monaco had started well, and they've scored when they're on top.
Oh, they started excellent. I mean, they started ever so well, but what was that bit of defending there? The man completely left on mark. Vinicius here. Nobody in his sight or his perimeter to even get close to blocking that shot. Completely left unmarked. Look at this.
Yeah,
all alone.
Well, he
all the time of the day.
box.
Well, I guess an unlucky or lucky touch in this case, but
you see it all in this game, don't you?
Yeah.
Of course, we said before the game how slim a chance it was for FC Nantes to qualify.
Look how much time he has, though, Adam.
It was a lot of time to pick his spot, as Alex and Pau both shaking their heads and throwing their pads. They knew that was a really sloppy goal to give away, and that's something you cannot afford to do against a team like AS Monaco. They've gifted them a goal here inside the opening half an hour, and now FC Nantes' chances of going through the door, well, it's even slimmer. Here it is. A chance for and just like that, the game is back level.
Hello, they say we're here too. Coming back with an answer straight away on the, their
sign of champions. There you go.
Yeah. Look, the frustration now on the faces of the guys from Monaco. But, I mean, what a way to respond from the guys from Barca after conceding such a silly goal, if you will. Answering right back with a chance of their own and a goal.
Lovely interchange.
Interchange there, yeah.
The famous Barcelona tiki-taka, and then fired in by Luis Suarez. We've seen him do that so many times over the last 5 years or so, probably more.
Oh, look at that pass.
Just beautiful. Potentially goal of the day contender with that bit of skill, Diego.
Wow. Well, pass of the day for sure. Assist of the day, no doubt about it. Lovely bit of skill. You've got to question it, maybe the Monaco defense though as well, for leaving Suarez so open in front of the goalkeeper. Well, if Vidal is intercepting the ball here, Adam.
Yeah, if people were questioning Barcelona's attitude and will to win, well, they've answered that straight away, haven't they?
Absolutely, they'll want to win this. They'll want to make life very complicated for Monaco and hopefully send them to the last chance group. In their case, of course, because they're a side that they do not want to face too many times.
Yeah, we already know. Having spoken to Eldridge, Diego obviously spoke to Eldridge in the mix zone early. He doesn't want to face AS Monaco in the next round, so he'll be hoping that Barcelona can create something special here as Lionel Messi plays it in. Now Vidal clears it away. And now a chance here to counter here for AS Monaco. This is where they've got to be very careful, Barcelona, because Monaco are really, really dangerous, or can be on the counter-attack if they get it right. On this occasion, Gerard Piqué, brilliant defending.
Cool, calm and collected, as always, from
he reads the game so well.
From the president and founder of this fine eFootball.Pro league.
Absolutely. Lovely little plug there from Diego. So, 40 minutes gone here in the first half of the first game in match 3. And it's fired forwards, looking for Lionel Messi, one back. Now it drops and into the midfield here. Guano dispossessed, but it's still in AS Monaco possession.
Oh,
Masango
watch out,
towards
watch out.
Martins, and it should have tested the goalkeeper there.
Coming. You saw that coming, Adam. You saw them building up, creating their chance here in front of goal. Lovely little pass right down the middle, splitting the defenders.
He has to test the goalkeeper there, doesn't he?
He has to. We've seen that time and time again.
A wry
today.
smile.
Yeah. Uzmakabal knows that he should have done better. As we see Barca now building from the back.
Chumi finds Rafinha. Now Vidal finds Boateng. Challenge comes in from Emerson, but back with Rafinha, and Luis Suarez can't be found on this occasion. Whacked away, and it's finished here. 1-1 at the end of the first half. It's been, you know, a lot's happened. There's not been a lot of chances, but you can definitely feel the adrenaline, the emotion in this arena.
And the tension, a lot of tension here. This match having to restart 3 times. Third time lucky, I think you guys say in English, right? Third time lucky.
We do
lucky
indeed.
And well, what a match has been. Barca enjoying the possession, but not the chances. I think the chances are quite equal so far, as Monaco is not able to connect on that occasion. Ter Stegen, rather safe than sorry, kicking it out of bounds.
So, how do AS Monaco approach the second half? Do they go for the win, or do they just
cross Adam?
Oh, that almost answered my question. But do they just try and limit the goals conceded from Barcelona's point of view, because as things stand, they're comfortably going through?
Yeah, I think both might be having that mindset. Barca right now, top of their group, or no, not yet, I should say. Of course, Celtic still top of the competition for having won their match earlier on. So Barca will be looking for the win, but Monaco might want to limit that damage so that they can qualify through as third. Yeah.
So, oh, it's a lovely chance here. What a save! Fingertips outstretched, tipped over the top. The acrobatics there from the AS Monaco player was something to behold, but it's a good save, isn't it? Very good save, and Ter Stegen very quick to react as well to get back on this goal line, as Masengo is now getting ready to put in a corner kick. Whipped into play.
Oh, what a goal!
2 in 2 minutes, and this time it's gone in.
And the trash talking continues.
Shouts, hoops and hollers there from Uzmakabal for AS Monaco, but he's done his talking on the pitch as well with a stunning finish.
Yes, he has. And the trash talking continues by Uzmakabal, shouting over at the table from the Barca boys. Another scissor kick. Adam, that's the second one we've seen today.
Yeah, but it was the second one in as many minutes as well, because they almost scored seconds earlier, but the goalkeeper this time couldn't get anywhere near it. I mean, you've got to question the goalkeeper there, haven't you?
Very far off his line.
Potentially the switch to manual goalkeeping may have had an effect there. It's hard to see from here.
Yeah, Ter Stegen was very far off his line for sure, as we now see both teams starting to tweak their formation already.
Well,
52 minutes in, 2-1 for Monaco.
A-OK for the French team so far.
Substitution.
They can afford to lose and still qualify as long as they keep the scores down, and they are in fact winning as we speak. So very, very comfortable for Monaco at this moment in time. They would still be third. There's no way they can leapfrog Barcelona, who will finish match day 5 on 9 points, even if they lose, whereas AS Monaco can only achieve 8. And of course, Nantes finish with 6. Punch clear by the goalkeeper, and a chance to counter here for AS Monaco. He's got numbers forwards. Oh, it's a lovely ball through. It's Guano, he's onside. Chance to wrap it up here. He's done it. It's 3-1. As simple as that, Diego.
Yes, it is. What a counter-attack. These boys so quick to react from a bad or good clearance, I should say, bad corner taken from Barca. Pounced on it right away to send Vinicius off running. Beautiful pass to Guanu, who beats Ter Stegen for the goal, and 3-1.
You could see that coming a mile away, that through ball. It was like the eye of a needle, but these guys have that ability, and as soon as he made the run through the middle, you knew the pass was on, and he made absolutely no mistake with the finish. Handshakes all round for AS Monaco. Lotfi nearest there on your screen, and of course As Monaco, who's been probably the loudest player on the tour alongside Eldridge O'Neill in terms of the celebrations.
Yep. Well, let's see what Barca can do now. Of course, they've taken out Rafinha for Malcolm. Trying to look for a little bit more speed on the wings, potentially, as Martins is now trying to look for Navarro.
So as things stand, Celtic will top the table with 12. Barcelona will be second with 9. AS Monaco third with 8. Nantes fourth with 6. And then I'll let Diego finish the other two, because without having the table on me, I'm not quite sure of the goal difference, etc., for the other two. But importantly, it is, of course, the top 3 that can qualify today. And AS Monaco are doing a brilliant job in achieving that so far.
Good little bit of one-touch passing from Barca, but unable to connect at the far end there, as now Monaco has a throw-in. Things very much going their way so far, although the guys are still not entirely happy with their formation and tweaking just the minor tweaks we saw up top there, as Barca needs to do something if they want to become the winners of the regular season. They will not be that if things stand the way it is, because if Monaco, of course, takes this match, they still can win the second match, but that would only lead to a point, which would not be enough to finish off the regular season in first place. As Longley here tries to look for Dembélé. Dembélé now, can he get to the ball? Nope. Jensen.
Golovin with an audacious outside of the right foot through ball there. Didn't quite come off, but that's the sort of confidence that AS Monaco are playing with at this moment in time. It's ebbing and flowing between the two of them.
Middle.
He gets an interception. It's Malcolm. He twists and turns. He's played it through. Surely. Good defending again. I've been impressed with them defensively as well.
Yeah, they've been good for sure, and they've been defensively very sound. Ever since conceding that goal, they've looked quite comfortable in defense. Barca not managing to create many more chances and testing the goalkeeper since the first goal, or the equalizer, I should say.
So an offside flag goes up. 15 minutes remaining, and as you can see, tackles one. Alex, as you would expect, Barcelona have made more tackles. They've been under the cosh for large parts of this 75 minutes or so, and they need a massive 15 minutes here, otherwise they will be ending it in defeat, and it will be all to go for in the second game.
You feel that Barca's maybe just a little bit slow to put in the pass, or potentially even the shot, as
AS Monaco on the other hand, and lightning.
Oh, what a dagger.
Well, we talked about how the goal difference was huge for Nantes to catch them. They are making it even larger. What a performance from AS Monaco.
Madre mia, what a shot, what a dagger. So full of confidence, this one. Boom! Yish! Ter Stegen with no chance to stop that.
You often find with these players, when they go through, do they take their time? Do they show great composure? Or do they just absolutely rifle it? And that's exactly what just happened there. It was absolutely breathtaking to watch him bear down on goal and smash it high into the roof of the net. Handshakes all round again for AS Monaco. But really, it's just absolutely brilliant to watch. A thoroughly deserved performance for the win here.
Well, this has been a very much a one-sided affair ever since this match started to go into the favor of Monaco, as we see them again.
I think Barcelona have lost their heads a little bit here.
Yeah. Things not looking good for the Barca boys.
Now, we mentioned beforehand that a lot of the teams didn't want to face AS Monaco, and it's not like we were surprised. We knew their talent, but they were sitting third in the table. No one was talking about not wanting to face Celtic and of course, Barcelona. But we're seeing now the sort of ability that AS Monaco can produce.
I think that was never in doubt, really. Just speaking to these guys, match day in, match day out, they often talk about how good Monaco is and how they don't want to face it. You mentioned him as well. Eldridge, in my conversation with him, talked about how they just flat out said, I don't want to face them. I asked him if he was scared of them. He said no, but seeing the beating that Barca has taken so far, you kind of understand where Eldridge is coming from.
Ball gets played through towards Luis Suarez, pops it off to Dembele. Challenge, though, comes in, and now Pellegrini has a chance to counter here through Robert Navarro, and support from the left-hand side here as Martins is free in the middle, as is Pellegrini again, but it's cleared away only as far as Lionel Messi, who gives the ball away. It's been not a great performance from the usual, almost perfect Lionel Messi.
Well, I think you could say that for the entire team. It's very uncharacteristic, sloppy football as well.
And it has finished here, and Barcelona, who were joint top after match day 4, have been put to the sword in the opening match.
Yeah. Things just not going their way, but you have to say, just sheer and utter dominance from the guys from Monaco. Despite not enjoying the majority of the possession, doing or creating the most with their chances. Fantastic stuff. I'm very impressed right now. I mean, they look so confident. Seeing that they not necessarily needed the 3 points, they were quite comfortable, but they're definitely sending a message to their opponents, saying, "Hey guys, we might be qualifying third through the regular season, but take nothing away from us and fear us, if anything."
Do you think that some of the other teams calling them out as being ones to be fit, do you think that's just going to breed confidence in the AS Monaco?
Watch this, Adam. Watch out. Oh, gosh.
I mean, they've got to wake up, Barcelona, here. But do you not think that that's going to breed confidence in the Monaco camp? If everyone keeps saying, "Oh, we're scared of Monaco," then surely they're going to get even better, aren't they?
I've been quite surprised. Hearing these kind of things, not only said behind the scenes, but in front of the camera, because as you said, Adam, all it can do is kind of feed into the confidence that these guys from Monaco already have.
Because you've only got to look back a couple of match days, and they weren't really performing how we expected them to. They had a shaky few games.
Absolutely.
They nicked a few games here and there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, even against Schalke, they managed to draw these guys in a 2-2 match. Obviously, Monaco then going on to win it 2-1. But they've certainly been surprised or stifled by some of the teams here in the competition. So all the praises, all the showering of compliments by, in particular, the likes of Celtic and Barca, maybe that's something that they're paying the price for now, because right now, Monaco is just looking incredibly comfortable. And even now in game 2, enjoying the better chances so far.
Indeed they are, as Massango picks the ball up on the halfway line, feeds Martins, now gets it back, but then gives it away, and a chance for Barcelona to counter. Of course, we're talking as if this game is dead and buried, but Barcelona are level in this second game, and if they were to win, it finishes a draw. AS Monaco will qualify, of course, but it won't quite be the shining performance that we were glowing about in the first 90 minutes. But that's a really sloppy pass, and Vidal's very fortunate to get away with that. As
we've got to see better from Barca. They've got to absolutely
very
wake
uncharacteristic.
Up. Right now, they look a little bit shell-shocked still from that thumping result they received.
Do you put this down to the Monaco ability, or do you think it's complacency from Barcelona? How are you reading this?
And once again,
Several the goalkeeper.
How many times we're going to see this, Adam? The pass straight down the middle, splitting the defenders.
It's just so simple.
Yeah.
They pick the ball up in the centre midfield area, and one pass straight through the middle is carving them open like the Sea of Moses.
Each and every time. Piqué and Lenglet will have to really do better in order to close down the striker there, to prevent him from getting those open shots and testing Ter Stegen time and time again.
In towards a dangerous save by Ter Stegen. Very easy claim for him. Fires it up quick towards Luis Suarez. This is better from Barcelona. This is what they need to start doing. But again, it's a really sloppy pass. And I think they're breeding their own downfall from just trying to rush the pass a little bit too much, because we are used to seeing this wonderful tiki-taka, but they've got to be a bit more careful as well.
Yeah, they certainly do.
Great challenge.
Stretched. They really had to be stretched out, though, huh, to get to it.
This game is, speaking of stretch, this game is very stretched. 20 minutes gone, and they're both going like it's the last 10 minutes. Vidal finds Boateng, back to Vidal, almost the chance that Barcelona have been wanting. It might still be. It is, and Barcelona take the lead. And just when we were singing AS Monaco's praises and down-talking Barcelona, they slap it back in our faces with a terrific goal, and they lead here in match 2 of match 3 on game day 5.
Well, what a surprise, Adam. Finally, Barca able to string together a couple of passes, something we haven't seen them do much at all ever since they scored that equalizer in the first match. But also then, it was their first chance on goal. They managed to convert it, and then they just simply fell back. Let's see if they can do better this time and hold on to the lead, or who knows, even expand on it.
I was just going to say, it was brilliant defending from AS Monaco. And then the chance was recycled and fired back across, and unfortunately the defending at the back post wasn't as good as early in the same move, and he was given too much time, slotted into that bottom corner. Handshakes all round, and Pau and Alex look more like where's that been than actually celebrating the goal as Guano picks it up, and they've got to be careful here.
Do better. They have to do better defensively, Adam. We're only 23 minutes in so far. If they want to enjoy a victory here, they simply have to do better in defense and stop these Monaco guys from getting open shots on goal.
So, of course, we do know...
That'll be offside. Nope, no offside call.
Saved by the goalkeeper, was going wide, but he had to be sure. Of course, knowing that Monaco did win that first game, even if Barcelona did win this, it will finish a point apiece, and that point will be enough to see and secure AS Monaco's trip through to the knockout stage, qualifying today, which would see, of course, Nantes' faint hope dead in the water.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, Nantes will be joining the other two in the bottom 3.
I think at this point it's safe to say that that will be the case, unless we see something absolutely crazy happen. And whoa,
it's a finish.
Spoken too soon.
A finish.
2-0. Although, looking at the faces of Alex and Pau, you wouldn't say that they are up 2 goals.
I think they're really quite irritated by their first game performance.
100%. They will. They really wanted to hold on to that first spot, so that, of course, they don't have to face Monaco in that final round.
So we're going to get a repeat of match day 5 in match day 6.
They're beating themselves over the head right now, but it was a scenario that was always in the books. Maybe not likely to happen, but could happen.
What I am surprised about is, and again, Smakabal very colourful in his celebration there, or lack of, because it's obviously conceding the goal.
Ironic celebration.
Ironic
sarcastic.
celebration, of course.
Yeah.
It still surprises me how, because at the end of the day, they've got to beat the best to be the best. So you'd think they take it on the chin and just say, whoever we get, we'll go with it. But they're all. And, you know, when you get to this stage, there's going to be 4 incredible teams going head-to-head. As always, a poor clearance here. And now it's AS Monaco's turn to look all at sea at the back, as Barcelona look to turn the screw and make it 3-0 inside the opening half an hour. It's almost chalk and cheese from the first game.
Yeah, it is. It is exactly that. Oh, as Rafinha cannot find Boateng. But, yeah, interesting stuff. It's always fascinating for me to see the body language of the players, despite the fact that Barca is up 2-0, a good lead after. Here's a goal.
Now, does that go down as a great save or a poor finish in the end? It looked a little bit close to the goalkeeper for me.
Yeah, well, once again, though, the defense caught sleeping. How many times have we seen this, Adam, between these two sides? Monaco, again, with just an open shot on goal, able to test their Stegen at least, but not able to convert it this time. But
yeah, that was probably their biggest opportunity so far.
So far, yeah.
And it's a set piece to be taken. Can they take full advantage? Fired across. A really brave claim from ter Stegen there, under pressure from a lot of players. He now fires downfield, looking for Luis Suarez, who can't get anywhere near it, and AS Monaco win it back, but they've given it away. It's all got very scrappy at the end of this first half as Messi finds Suarez. Is there a third goal here for Barcelona? Right at the death as Messi goes through.
Get to it. Nope.
Good defending.
Very good.
And cleared away just under 5 minutes in this first half, and it's been one that's been dominated in large parts by Barcelona, and the goal tally is proof of that. And now Rafinha finds Suarez, pops it off to Boateng, back towards Suarez. Still a little bit sloppy at times, Barcelona, not something we used to.
No.
You know, in match day 4, they were making those passes stick, but they have still got possession.
Watch out.
And Lionel Messi skips across, and the cross now comes in. It's a poor defensive clearance, and that really should have been 3.
Wow, what happened there? Acrobatic effort there. Just couldn't connect with the ball. Bad clearance in the end. Oh, it was called offside here. But yeah, then what happened? Looked like Boateng there got tripped up.
Swing and a miss for the defender. And it almost...
Good stuff here by Piqué. Solid defending.
I expect nothing less as the first half comes to an end. Barcelona 2, AS Monaco 0. A brilliant performance in that first half from Barcelona. Something that they'll be kicking themselves. But that's been a reoccurring theme, hasn't it, today?
Yeah.
Missed opportunities and games, 2 games that are completely different from each other. Look at Boa Vista versus Nantes as well.
Absolutely.
As Vidal battles to win possession
muscle
back.
his way through the defense there. Something we don't see too often. Thrown here for Monaco, goes long. Cleared. Vidal, can he send Luis Suarez off running? Nope, well, he does send Boateng off running. Prefers to play it back to Messi now.
Good challenge that from Musango.
Very easily.
And now it's a chance here on the left-hand side. Fired away and out of play. 40 throw on the far touchline. 50 minutes gone here. Still Barcelona lead by that 2 first half goals to 0.
Don't know if you saw that statistic there, Adam. 80% passes completed for Barca, 58 for Monaco.
Yeah, it's not been a great 90 minutes, but you could say that actually, as soon as Monaco won that first game, far more at stake. In fact, across the board, really, it looked very difficult for AS Monaco to be topped, even if they lost both games due to the goal difference, whereas Barcelona wanted to win to finish top. So we've all been looking at this like we expect Monaco to be under the most pressure, but actually there's a lot less riding on it really for them, certainly now anyway.
That is a good point. That is a good point. As we see Wes there warming up, getting ready to join us here at the table soon. Be very interested to hear his insights, but yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. All eyes were set on Monaco to see what they were going to do, but maybe we should have looked at Barca a little bit harder. They, of course, wanted to finish first, and I still feel that maybe that energy, the dynamic is that of a disappointment for them in the manner in which they lost that first match, a 4-1 defeat.
Absolutely. Golovin has come off. And Dembele skips away. Another chance.
Lovely little turn.
Suarez crosses, blocked and cleared. And AS Monaco survive again. But this is a little bit better from Barcelona, but I still feel the final third has been an area that they're usually far more clinical.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I think both teams will just be happy with the way things are. 60 minutes in, Adam. For that last half hour, what do you think we can expect?
Well, I think it's going to maintain a pretty similar pattern of play. As you said, I think both teams will be fairly happy now, having come to terms, especially Barcelona, with the fact they're not going to finish top, because they both know they're going to be playing each other again in match day 6.
In 1 month's time.
In 1 month's time, and they don't want to give too much away, because if they go and get hammered now, for example, then that might be playing on their minds. And speaking of that, Dembele's got a chance for 3. Stunning stop from the goalkeeper. And yeah, so both teams will go away from this with 1 win apiece. They'll get a draw, they'll get a point, they'll dust their noses off, wipe away a little bit of blood that might have come down from the opening bout, and then they'll go for match day 6 in a month's time.
The finals.
Which are, of course, as you said, Diego, the finals. Piqué finds Dembele. Dembele has support from Suarez and Malcolm and Messi, all the M's, and now gets it back to Lionel Messi. And well, he won't, because it was a really poor pass, and it's been picked off here, and a chance to counter here for Monaco in towards Guano. And now Navarro back to Guano. This is wonderful play here from AS Monaco, but again the final pass is a poor one. Reoccurring theme across the board, to be honest.
It has been.
Both teams have had moments of brilliance, but both teams will be very disappointed with their final third.
I think mentally at this point, the teams might just be a little bit less engaged. As you mentioned before, they've come to terms with the way things are. Barca will be feeling, well, we'll find out soon in the interview, as Dembélé here can maybe extend the lead. Does he?
It's a mistake.
He's in front of
It's
goal.
Dembélé.
Surely it will.
Lovely finish. Lovely, lovely finish. The composure just to knock it back onto his right foot and just bend that into the far corner low on the deck. Some people might have smashed that first time, not on this occasion, not on his watch. And AS Monaco, you know, they know they've qualified, so it's not drastic, but they will be disappointed with this performance, don't get me wrong.
Well, they will be, because a 3-0 drubbing is, you'll never be on the receiving end of that.
Would you class this as a drumming?
Well, I mean,
has it been that one-sided, you feel, in this second game?
Maybe it hasn't been that one-sided, but still receiving 3 goals. I mean, look at the score of the first leg. It was a 1-4, and we felt that was a very much a one-sided affair, and it was just a 3-goal difference. So to receive now 3 goals against, I mean, if you're Monaco, you can't be too satisfied with that. Pau, though, will be happy that he is still top of the Pichichi race, the top scorers table, with, I believe, 14 goals, if not maybe 15 by now.
Some performance so far this season from that man.
Yes, what a debut.
What would you say if push came to shove? Push came to shove, should I say?
Yeah.
3-0 or 4-1, what would you go for? Would you want your clean sheet, or would you want to be...
Clean sheet is important. I think it really just, it goes down to how, the manner in which you receive those goals. And Dembélé here is being dispossessed, but Suarez in front of goal alone.
It could have been for themselves. It really, I mean, it was. I would go as far as saying that was a good save. I don't think Luis Suarez could have done much more. Possibly cut back onto his right foot, like Dembélé did for the 3rd goal, maybe. But yeah, Barcelona are starting to really enjoy themselves now and enjoy their football. They're running right in this remaining 20 minutes or so, and
yeah,
AS Monaco have got to be careful, because they've got to play them in a couple.
They do, and I mean, what is clear is that they've taken the foot off the gas. Just sloppy football. We saw it before. Their passes completed only 58%. As Piqué here finds Malcolm for the goal.
Wonderful, wonderful team goal. It's exactly what Barcelona have been famed for over the years. One touch, intricate, in and around the box, short passing, bam, they hit you. 4-0. And it's a joy to watch at times, Diego, and hopefully when you get to the mix zone with these guys, my question to you to ask them is, did they change anything in this second game, Barcelona, tactically, to how they played in the first half, or did they just simply cut out the mistakes and be more clinical and less sloppy? Because how they've changed this round to losing 4-1 to winning 4-0 is very interesting to hear how they've done it.
Yeah, I'm expecting Alex and Pau to really be beating themselves over the head and thinking, why didn't we not play more like this in the first leg? Because in the second half of the second match, it's been very much a one-sided affair. Just fantastic stuff from the Barca guys. That said, I just mentioned before, I feel like Monaco's taken the foot off the gas. I think that is also, you know, has something to do with the outcome so far. Look at that, 58% is still for passes completed from Monaco.
What is very, very interesting is that we were looking at today's fixtures saying that, as an example, Schalke had to win. Nantes had to win. Boa Vista had to win. And Monaco had to lose, and none of them have come into fruition. We've had a draw here for Monaco, and the rest of them were unable to win their fixtures, other than Nantes, actually, who did win, but the point was enough for Monaco. And it's going to finish here, surely now, with a 4-goal cushion for Barcelona. 9 goals scored over the 2 games, 4-1 to AS Monaco in that first game. And well, how more finely balanced can you be going into the next stage when they play each other? One team's won 4-1 and the other team's won 4-0.
Yeah, great stuff. I mean, high-scoring games, that is the end. The 90 minutes are finished. I'm gonna go get ready for the mix zone. Off
you go, Diego. We will join you very, very shortly. We will just look at a few highlights here from that game, and safe to say, unfortunately, it was a little bit of an anti-climax at times in that game. As soon as we found out that Monaco were able to take the win in that first game, And of course, the goal slide that we were hoping for from a neutral's point of view was not able to happen. Had the first game finished 4-0 to Barcelona, on the other hand, then it could have made the second game very, very interesting. But congratulations to AS Monaco, who have qualified, and deservedly so. They were brilliant in that first game today to get through to the third spot and qualification with, I believe, 6 points. It's finished for them. And there's the breakdown of the two games. You had Alex scoring for Barcelona and As Monaco scoring 2, Lotfi scoring 2 for AS Monaco. And in the second game, we had, of course, Alex scoring the first again, but then a hat-trick hero performance from the man who is sending shockwaves through the eFootball.Pro League with his goal-scoring prowess, with a 3-goal haul in that second game. And this is how the table actually lines up. So we have Celtic with 12 points, who will top the league table, 4 wins from 5, just a 1 defeat, and Barcelona will finish in second with 10 points. It's still a terrific season for them. 3 wins, 1 draw, and a defeat for them. AS Monaco propping up that qualification stage place with 6 points, 1 win, 3 draws, and a loss for them. And then the final 3 who didn't qualify today, but one of them still can. FC Nantes, Boa Vista and Schalke 04 prop up the table with 5, 4, 4 respectively in the points department. And we're just getting a few highlights here from the game we've just seen. This was, of course, the opening fixture when Luis Suarez fired goalwards into the back of the net. And then, of course, that was the game that we had to restart, unfortunately. And, well, it might have been a bit different, but nevertheless, you've got to take nothing away from AS Monaco, who, and sometimes in esports, you have to be able to switch on mentally after, technical difficulties or, just generally not performing to how you expect. And they were able to rise for the restart and perform much better, and this was one of the picks of the bunch. A lovely scissors volley. Unfortunately, Ter Stegen was not able to perform on that set piece how he would have wanted, and then it just seemed to be a case that they were finding chances and goals at ease as they went through. And of course, as you're now back to me after the highlights, that of course means one thing and one thing only. It means that we can go straight to Diego in the mix zone, where he will be talking to, firstly, as you can see on your screen, Barcelona, Alex and Pau. Of course, congratulations to you two for qualifying, but they weren't able to get the 3 points on the day to finish top. Diego, as we said in the commentary, can you ask them what happened in that second game from the first? Why was it so different?
That's it, Adam. Thanks very much. Well, I'm joined here by Pau and Alex. Guys, first of all, congratulations, Pau, for the hat-trick. Yeah, he says he didn't even realize. Yes, you did score a hat-trick. I say congratulations, but how disappointed are you guys for having dropped out of the first place and into second?
Well, I guess the word is not to be if we are happy or unhappy. I mean, we are disappointed because we didn't play both games as we know. I guess as well the second game we could play a little bit better. But well, happy, unless we are in the final was the goal for us. Looking forward for the next month, the finals, the great event, is where we have to do our best. If we do our best, these past few months doesn't matter. So, looking forward for the next month at least.
You talk about how happy you are the way you finished off the second match, of course. What exactly did you guys change from the first match to go down 4-1 to then winning 4-0?
Well, unless it's like we started like a bit cold, no? You could say, no, at the beginning of the first match. It's true that to rematch the game when we scored the first one wasn't lucky, no, for our part. But unless it's like I want to restart my mind after today. Looking forward for the next month. It's probably will be the most important month of the year. Well, happy. I mean, if I know. He knows if we do our best level, if we show our best level, we could win. So there's nothing more to say. Happy because we are in the finals.
One last question I want to ask you. We hear you guys talking a lot, or maybe one person in particular, Uzmakabal, not shy from talking to you guys. How does that affect you during the game, hearing this kind of trash talking, as we call it? Does it affect you at all?
Well, I guess motivate us
for play stronger. I mean, it doesn't care. We don't used to talk unless not to talk about the opponent in the middle of the game, because I think it's not respect. But well, it's one play like he wants. So I don't know. Let's see, let's see. It's competition,
It is a competition, and you guys will be facing them, of course, in 1 month time. So the best of luck, Alex, Pau, the Barça boys, finishing the regular season in second. And well, congratulations again, Pau, on the hat-trick. Pichichi so far, top goal scorer. I had to tell Adam what Pichichi meant. He didn't exactly know. As I bid you guys, again, the best of luck. I'll be joined by the guys from Monaco, who's Macabal, and dale, llévatelo. Es para ti. The ball's for you, Pau. Tio Meat and Macabal. Congratulations, boys. How are you guys feeling now that you finished third, won that game, the initial game, convincingly so, 4-1, but then losing 4-0? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, we are happy. We was here to win only one of 2 games, because if we win one, we are qualified. So you are happy of our game. After in the second, it was another context. We try some things and not works, but the most important was to be qualified for the semi-final,
Yeah. You are now qualified for the semi-final. Macabal, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm curious. I hear you talking a lot. Is that part of your strategy to kind of trash talk, to have the back and forth with your opponents during the match? Is that part of the strategy? Tu peux répondre en français.
Ouais, ma stratégie, c'est pas forcément de trash talk, mais on essaye d'utiliser ça pour déstabiliser l'adversaire. Mais l'important, c'est de gagner des matchs et qu'on soit confiants, l'autre fille et moi, pour la prochaine demi-finale, parce qu'on risque de les croiser, de rejouer contre eux, et voilà.
Well, he's saying it is part of the strategy, maybe to dissettle the opponent or unsettle the opponent a little bit, but what they're focused on is winning the match, and they did so, finishing the competition in third. You'll be facing Barça 1 month from now. How are you feeling your chances facing Barça again? You guys know them obviously very well by now.
Yeah, I think we have good chances. I think we play very good. We improve our mentality, more fun, and we was maybe more nervous in the last games. So I think we are better in all. So I think we are better, and we will do all for win.
All right. Something, last words here by Macabal?
Moi, j'espère qu'on arrivera à les battre lors du dernier match en demi-finale. Surtout qu'on les bat souvent en training, justement. On les bat tout le temps. Maintenant, il va falloir gagner le dernier match et on croise les doigts.
Fingers crossed, indeed. Much more than that I didn't quite catch. But I'll leave it up to the subtitles. Lotfi, Macabal, fantastic stuff from you guys. Very impressive performance indeed. When the pressure was on, these guys delivered. Can't wait to see part 2 in a month's time. That is it from me here. Adam, back over to you, buddy.
Thank you very much, Diego. Yes, lovely, of course, to hear from both sets of players. And what was key in listening to both of them there, from my point of view, is the fact that they were both just happy to get the job done. Qualification was the most important thing, something that Barcelona had already achieved. And yes, they weren't able to take the 3 points on the day, but they can dust themselves off. They've tried a few more things. They find out what's worked and what hasn't, and they can go again for the finals, of course, in a few weeks' time. Now, we're going to take a look back at today's action, some of the best bits that we've seen. It's been an epic day. It's amazing to watch all of that back, Diego, and you actually see how many great goals, etc. there were. Of course, that was the best of what we've just seen. And shortly we're going to see how what we've just seen, the actual games, the fixtures, affected the league table. Any last sort of words that you've taken away from today?
Well, just, you know, I said big drama before this match day. I think there was drama, maybe not all of the drama that we would expect it. I think you pointed out a very fair point there. When all of our eyes were set on Monaco, maybe they should have been set on Barça, because they did look very disappointed that they let that first place slip. So in the end, I think the teams that went through were those that we expected to go through,
ones, yeah.
right? And now it all comes down to that final, the last chance group to see who is the fourth team to join the likes of Celtic, Barça, and Monaco.
Absolutely. So hopefully we'll be able to see on the graphics there. That was the results of the day. It was 2 wins and a draw. Of course, Celtic winning the first game, Nantes winning the second game, and of course that titanic battle at the end there, the 4-1 and the 4-0 each way, made it 1-1 for the draw, which of course, Diego, how does that set the table up?
Well, there you have it. Celtic now on the final match day, taking the lead with 12 points. So qualifying, if they already were, of course, but qualifying in first, and Barça letting the lead slip and qualifying in second. They will have to face Monaco for that final round taking place next month. And then it's up to Nantes, Boa Vista, and Schalke to find out who between them 3 will join those top 3.
Absolutely, and they, of course, will be going into that last chance saloon. And this is the matchup of what we are going to see in that last chance saloon, Diego.
Wow, Nantes will start off against Schalke, then it'll be Boa Vista against Nantes, and finally Schalke against Boa Vista. I mean, that is going to be, you talk about big drama, that is going to be something to look out for sure. Very curious to see what will happen.
And then the day after, we have the big one. We have the semi-final best of 3. And of course, we'll have Celtic, Barcelona, and Monaco, who have all qualified, joined by the team who qualify on the Saturday, the day before. So it's going to be a big 2 days for the potential 4th place in that setup.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, and I'm very curious to see the part 2 between Barça and Monaco there. Not only from a goal perspective that we see plenty of it, but also trash talking. Who's Macabal there, not shy to exchange words, I should say, with the Barça.
I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then he just came flat out and said, yeah, I trash talk. So, you know, fair enough. Each to their own, I suppose, as long as you keep it clean. So that is pretty much it for today. It's been an amazing event again. Pleasure to be a part of the setup here with Diego. And of course, make sure you stay tuned for our post-match analysis program, which will be launching in a few days' time with our PES expert, Wes, as well. Remember to follow all of our social media channels, eFootball.Pro, that's Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, all the main ones.
Facebook.
And of course, you can get all the latest and greatest information. We will love you and leave you. We'll see you very soon. And remember to check out the MVP on Twitter as well, because you can decide who wins it for Matchday 5. We'll see you very soon. We'll see you in Matchday 6. It's going to be huge.